/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
NASCAR legend Michael Waltrip is coming to Echo Park Automotive Sacramento this Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Get there early to meet Michael and celebrate Echo Park's sponsorship of A.J. Allmendinger's number 16 Chevrolet at Sunday's Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway. 10 pairs of race tickets are up for grabs in a live drawing, plus score an autographed A.J. Allmendinger hero card. And while you're there, browse Echo Park's huge inventory. Get the new car feel without the new car price. This Thursday, 2 to 4.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
At Folsom Chevy, they're making it easier to get a new truck. From how you're treated to sweet new deals. Swing by the Folsom Auto Mall, ask about their incredible new finance offer on every new 2026 Silverado half-ton truck in stock. Folsom Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Feel the force at Star Wars Night with the Sacramento River Cats. Join us at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, July 11th for themed fun, costumes, and summertime baseball under the lights. It's one of the most popular nights of the season. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
It happened. It actually happened. The worst kept secret in the NBA draft came to fruition. Darius Acuff Jr., you are a Sacramento King. Welcome into the Matt George and, well, what in the world? I'm making it our full names now. It's the Matt and Kayla Show. I'm Matt George. That's Kayla Anderson. We got Anthony with us in the other room. He's dressed head to toe once again in throwback King swag. It's an exciting day in Sacramento because I think from the Kings' perspective, now they're going to say this no matter what happens, but genuinely from the Kings' perspective, last night went as close to perfect as it could have possibly gone for what Scott Perry and the Sacramento Kings wanted to accomplish as far as months ago. A great night for the Sacramento Kings and Kayla Anderson's guy, Darius Acuff Jr., hopping on a plane from the draft in New York by way of Arkansas to Sacramento, where he will call his new home.
All I got to say is my man.
Oh, my God.
Delivered.
Sunglasses are on.
Now, if you notice, I did my best today to represent my guy, Mr. Darius Acuff.
Is it the red glasses he had?
They're pink. They're like a pink shade, like a
okay,
kind of golden, pinkish.
I see the gold frames.
Now, these don't have Cartier on them and stuff. I tried to do the long necklace, which this is about the most expensive necklace I own, which is, my dad got it on a cruise. He said it wasn't cheap, but that's about all I can get to. But I thought I didn't have the Louis Vuitton suit like he did.
Nah.
But this is as close as I can get. So hopefully I'm doing my guy justice. But in all seriousness, I was literally pumped when they took him. And it was crazy because the whole draft, when the draft started, I was like, at some point, this is going to go awry. And especially because nothing happened at the very, very top. It got to 6 or 7 or 5. And I'm like, something's not going to go right here for the Kings. Like something's going to go wrong and Acuff is going to go in one of these spots because it's been too perfect to this point. And then sure enough, it goes exactly according to plan. And there you go. You got Acuff now, a Sacramento King. Congrats to the Sacramento Kings fan base, to the Kings in general. I think it's going to be a fun ride.
I can tell you this. The draft last night, the top 7 picks went exactly how Scott Perry expected them to go when he walked into the building yesterday. Exactly how he expected. There's a reason why the consensus for everybody, because there was always fluctuation of, could it be Wagler at 5? Could it be Michael Brown Jr. at 5? Would the Nets take Darius Acuff Jr. at 6? Could Kingston Flemings work his way into the conversation? There was a time we were talking about Ade Mara and Nate Ahmet to the Brooklyn Nets. That all stopped about a week ago. And about a week ago, on every single mock draft, we started to see Wagler 5, Brown Jr. 6. I think Kevin O'Connor was a little bit different. He had Michael Brown Jr. 5 and Wagler 6, and then Darius Acuff Jr. 7. It's not often, to your point, that so many people basically telegraph how the top 7 is going to go, because that was not a clear top 7 in terms of player talent. Because once you get to 5, we're trying to pick who we believe is the best guard, but is also the best guard for us. So you're balancing talent and fit. It's always a balancing act. The top 4 win as we expected. I thought maybe we might get a little shakeup with Cam Boozer at 2.
But that did not go according to what we thought.
Darren Peterson went 2, and that's how it is, and good for the Utah Jazz or whatever. But 5, 6, 7, all the way down went exactly how Scott Perry and the Kings felt it was going to go. That's why they did not feel a need and have not felt a need for weeks, if not months, to jump up and try to trade up for Darius Acuff Jr. Now, don't get me wrong. The Nets, the Clippers, they tried. They tried to leverage the Kings over the course of this draft process. There was a lot of information, maybe too much information, that got out about how much the Sacramento Kings liked Acuff. Again, it was the worst kept secret in the draft. Everybody knew about it, but nobody could do anything about it because Scott Perry felt, and he knew the entire time, that the Brooklyn Nets, for example, were not going to pick Darius Acuff Jr. out of spite because they had other names that are better for them, which is why they ultimately went Michael Brown Jr. at 6. I can't tell you the Nets' reasoning. I don't know. I'm not connected with Brooklyn that way. I wish I could call Jordy Fernandez and go, why Michael Brown Jr. so much? But all you're hearing out of Brooklyn and out of those who are analyzing the Brooklyn pick is the Nets feel like Michael Brown Jr. is more of their guy, or more fits their identity, their mold, and what they want to do. And then Scott Perry gets Darius Acuff Jr., and the first thing he says when addressing the Sacramento Kings crowd, the fans that were in attendance at the draft party, we feel we got the best guard in the draft. That's what he said.
And I think there's still, if you go and you look at again, you can take national analysts for what they're worth, but some of the analysts that I'm talking about are former players, are former people connected to front offices, not just like talking heads.
Yep.
And if you look around and you listen to most of the feedback that the Kings are getting immediately after the first round, and I'm just going to talk about Acuff Jr. right now.
Right.
It is overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people still think they got the best guard at the number 7 spot, even though there were 2 spots above them where guards went. And like Windhorst said last night on Scott Van Pelt, he said this could really come down to, will Brown or will Acuff be like the star guard of this class moving forward? He kind of put those 2 names into play. So it could go anyway. And maybe one of them won't have the career that we expected them to have. Hopefully that will not be Darius Acuff Jr., but I think the overall feeling was that the Kings hit a home run. And, it's just great that he was able to be there.
I think everybody's recognizing the Kings got exactly what they wanted, but also exactly what they needed.
Yeah.
Like Darius Acuff checks 3 massive boxes for the Kings. They needed a point guard. Check. Then they were probably going to address that no matter what at 7, but they get their point guard. They desperately needed shooting because the Kings are the worst 3-point shooting team in the league last year. Check. They got arguably the best shooter in the draft who can shoot in catch and shoot scenarios, but can especially shoot and create for himself off the dribble. And even at 7, they fell out of the top 4, but even at 7, they felt they got the 5th best player in the draft and the guy with the highest star potential outside of that top 4, and we know the Sacramento Kings need a star. Now, time will tell if he lives up to that, of course. We can't necessarily say or like identify what's going to happen and what's not, other than just throwing things out there into the ether. But the Sacramento Kings believe that they've got a dude. Like it's not just this guy could be a really good piece for us. Acuff Jr. believes he's a star, and what we learned after the draft last night when we heard Scott Perry speak, who Darius Acuff Jr. is as a person and as a competitor, I think mattered more to Perry and swayed or influenced Perry to go to draft him more than anything Acuff Jr. said or did on the court, and that really matters.
Yeah, and that's why when that stuff came out on the Draymond Green podcast and that little bit of reporting came out a week ago about maybe the people surrounding him. That's why I instantly debunked that. And again, that might be something that happened in the past, but players grow. Players, in high school are different from what they are in college under a program like Coach John Calipari that you just heard on the Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross and their show this morning is he preached I look at the player when I recruit these guys almost more than what their skills are, because they have to come in and they have to be a guy too. They have to be able to handle things, be coached, be a gym rat. And then on top of it, if you come in a little immature, like he even said, Darius had to work on some stuff when he came into the Arkansas program. But the fact of the matter is he worked on those things that I asked him to work on. And now this is the next step to hopefully work on some of those other things at the NBA level. I've never been concerned about his character. I think it's actually one of the best parts about him. He's a workhorse and he's a dog, and I think he's a loyal person. You get him on your good side and you get him to trust you, and that's what it'll be.
We'll talk about the defense in just a second because, of course, I asked Scott Perry about it. I think Tony Harvey asked Scott Perry about it. Darius Acuff Jr. was asked about it. It definitely came up. We said we were going to ask about it, talk about it, and there's still a lot of questions to be answered on that side of the floor, and we'll see hopefully more in the California Classic, which is 10 days away, by the way, y'all. We're going to see not just Darius Acuff Jr. play for the Kings on 4th of July. You know who the Kings are playing first? Michael Brown Jr. and the Brooklyn Nets.
The Nets, yeah.
July 4th.
That'll be fun.
In Sacramento, 2 o'clock, day 1 of the California Classic, assuming, knock on wood, they stay healthy and both of them play. But we're going to get more about the defense, but let's talk about how we got here, right? And at 12:30, we're going to go back to March 4th. We're going to revisit the night that specifically Darius Acuff Jr. appeared on Kayla's radar, because it was what Texas head coach Sean Miller had to say about him after Arkansas beat Texas. Yeah, whooped them
the Longhorns.
Is right. We have that audio for you. We'll do that at 12:30. So that's when Acuff really came on your radar. We started talking about him, paying more attention about him or to him. I reached out not long after about the Kings' interest in him. Got back immediately. Kings love him. He's pretty high on their board. I think you're hearing a lot of people say today, if the Kings were at 5, if they had stayed put in the draft lottery, they would have taken Darius Acuff Jr. at 5. I don't know if I subscribe to if the Kings were in the top 4, they would have taken him. I haven't necessarily heard that. But the Kings fell outside of that consensus top 4. They got the top player or the best player in the draft, and he was the top of their board for a while. We were telling you that back in March.
Yeah, we were.
But this is not a two-way or a one-way street. The connection between the two has built and grown. We talk about the behind-the-scenes stuff. We talk about Scott Perry coaching his dad, the familiarity in that sense. And you're going to hear Acuff a little bit later on. We'll play audio for you where Darius Acuff just straight up says, hey, no, Scott Perry's my guy. He's been my guy through this process, which he kind of downplayed before the Kings drafted him. But now he has the freedom to be able to say these things. But it was the draft combine, Kayla, and we talked about it afterwards. It was the draft combine where we really started to hear the noise of Darius Acuff Jr.'s camp. They want him to go to Sacramento. Acuff wants to go to Sacramento because of the opportunity that the Kings offer him.
Yeah.
Acuff wants to be a star. He is driven by that. Scott Perry said, and we'll have this audio for you too, he said when Darius Acuff Jr. walks into a room, he believes he's going to be the best player on the court. He said it's not arrogance, it's quiet confidence.
Yeah.
That's who Darius Acuff Jr. is. And anybody can see that the Sacramento Kings desperately need a point guard and desperately need a star. Acuff Jr. is coming into a place where he could take the keys to the city and the franchise very, very quickly if he can be here what he was at Arkansas.
Yeah, and I think part of what Scott Perry looked at too, and I'm sure he had several conversations with Coach Cal, or at least a conversation with Coach Cal, about when he came in as a high schooler.
Yeah.
And you asked him to do some of this stuff that he wasn't maybe doing in high school. Mm-hmm. What did he do in terms of react? How long did it take him to adjust? When he was asked, like, he's got to share the basketball a little bit more. Like, those types of things, we heard Coach Cal talk about it this morning. He did those things. When asked, he did those things. That's also something probably Perry talked about, because what you want here is you want a guy that can go out on the floor and say, I want to be the best player, and I can lead that team that way. Mm-hmm. But I also want a player who's not going to be a ball hog, who's not going to be like, it's all about me. And I think he found out quickly that that wasn't who Acuff was, that there was a difference between being a guy that was like, I can help win, I can be the best player, but I don't have to get mad if the ball's not always in my hand. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a good point to bring up too, because again, that was asked of Acuff at Arkansas.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of that conversation was to build off the point is Coach Calipari shared a story of how he pulled Darius Acuff into a meeting with a couple of other players and said, look, like, I need you to get these guys more involved. And he said Acuff did it right away because he's coachable. Mm-hmm. He listens. He'll go out there and do it. And I asked Scott Perry about actually, Anthony, can we get this queued up right now? So I got one opportunity to ask a question of Scott Perry in the postgame press conference, because a lot of people were eager to ask him questions. The one question I asked him was specifically about, like, every time we ask Doug Christie a question about or offense, he pivots to defense. So you went out and drafted a very offensively gifted and offensively minded player. So how much do you believe in or trust in the relationship of Doug Christie and Darius Acuff Jr. forming, and how the two of them can work together to become more of a, like, to improve Darius Acuff's defense and get him to a level defensively that they're comfortable with, so that he can also shine on the offensive end? Here's Scott Perry answering that question.
Great players, or guys who aspire to be great players. Now, obviously, he's been a great player to this point. Now he has to come to the professional ranks and prove himself all over again. But he has a burning desire to want to be the best he can be. He will figure that out. He will be a young man who will accept coaching, will accept criticism. Matter of fact, he embraces that. And I think if you all reach out to Coach John Calipari, he would tell you that about Darius. So yeah, I'm excited to see his relationship grow with Doug and the rest of the coaching staff. He's going to be, I have no doubts that Darius will embrace that. And will he have bumps along the way? Absolutely. You can't point to a rookie that's ever played in this league that didn't have tough patches, tough stretches, and have some nights that things didn't go their way or they struggled. But what you look for is resilient personalities, and I believe he has that.
I love that from Scott, in the fact that he, first of all, said, will there be bumps in the road? Absolutely. Yeah. This is going to be a rookie. He's going to learn on the spot, probably. I mean, we don't know right now if he'll be a starter, but we assume you take a guy at number 5. He's going to be on that starting lineup.
What's holding you back?
Right?
Start him day one.
You start him day one, and you let him work through mistakes.
Yes.
Like eventually Doug allowed some of those young guys last year to do. But this is so much more important. No offense to the guys last year, but this is a guy that is supposed to be the face of your franchise moving forward. But for the fact that he said he's going to be able to come in here and take coaching, I really look at, like, I do hope Doug is able to stay here. First of all, I hope it for the fans, because I know some fans might not like Doug, but it's if Doug can do his job and continue to build on it, having consistency here in this franchise is what you need to build on. You have to start having something hold together this organization. It can't just be like fire, hire, fire, hire. Nothing's going to come out of that. Yep. So if anything, I hope Doug stays here because he shows that he can coach. But I feel like he and Darius will have a really good relationship because I think Doug demands and expects the best out of his players, but Darius is also still moldable in some ways.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that opportunity with some of these vets because some of these vets are just molded the way they're molded at this point with Doug.
Right. Look, Doug Christie is the first head coach, NBA head coach, that Darius Acuff Jr. will ever have. There is a power and an influence to that. You can learn at any stage of your career, but when you first go into the league, that's when you're supposed to be a sponge.
Yeah.
Why? Why would the Sacramento Kings bring Doug Christie back and keep him here if they did not believe that he was capable of handling that responsibility appropriately? That's why I asked about Doug Christie specifically, because while Doug is a developing head coach himself, this is a time where no one's expecting the Kings to be great right away or Darius Acuff Jr. to be the best version of himself at 19 years old when he first comes into the league. But you could argue that some of the most influential parts of his career that are going to get him there are going to happen right away. And Doug has to take on that responsibility. So there's that side of things. And then there's also the side of, like, I think people, and we're all entitled to our opinions and our interpretations of things, but I think people took Darius Acuff Jr.'s comments on the Draymond Green podcast talking about defense and took them and ran with them and drew conclusions that just aren't fair or accurate to what he was saying. A lot of people interpreted his comments or took his comments about, I only want to guard point guards, I want to guard my position, and made that about him not being coachable and him being unwilling to, if Doug Christie says, hey, I need you to switch on the two so we could have Devin Carter or Neek Clifford or Keegan Murray guard the point because he's trying to isolate you or whatever. I don't think Darius Acuff Jr. is going to go, no, coach, I'm not doing that. And
No.
people drew those conclusions and didn't like that aspect, which you and I always interpreted as this is the competitiveness of one-on-one kind of street ball. If you score on me, I'm scoring on you. If you're guarding me, I'm guarding you. We're going mano-a-mano here, which is how I always interpreted the situation, which speaks to the competitiveness and the mindset that Scott Perry brought up not 2, not 3, 4 different times during the course of his post-game press conference, repeatedly brought up who he is and how that stood out to him more than what he did on the floor. Anthony, could you cue up clip 5 for us here? Here is Scott Perry talking about Darius Acuff Jr. as a competitor.
He is a tremendous competitor, and I watched what he did with that Arkansas team this year. I was fortunate enough to actually watch him a couple years ago out of USA Basketball when I was not working in the league and I was working at ESPN, and I spoke to a young group that had all the top prospects out there. And just the way he went about his business then at even a younger age, back down for no one, has a lot of skills. He's a player that can score at all 3 levels. He can get to the basket. He can score in the mid-range. He can obviously shoot the three-point shot very effectively. And he can get teammates involved. He's a very good passer. And so that's what you look for in a point guard. So he exhibited all those skills, so we're very comfortable in showing that.
So you hear the on-court, but you hear the competitiveness. You hear the drive. He said in the earlier clip when talking about coaching, Darius Acuff Jr. has a burning desire to be the best version that he can be. That's the motivation. That's that it factor, almost like a little bit of insanity. What did Coach Calipari say this morning? You've got to be like, you got to love being lonely. You've got to love the gym.
I loved that line.
I knew you were going to like
I loved that line because I feel like it's the moments that we are by ourselves. I think a lot of the times, like, competitive minds and the way some of us work in terms of like wanting to be the best, like, we have to be comfortable with being lonely. I know that sounds really weird, but it's when you get in your thoughts and it's when you actually are like, this is what I need to do better. He told that story really quick too about he would not go home for Christmas.
For Christmas, right.
He
I
was
knew
like,
you'd like that.
why do you want to like not go home for Christmas? He's like, I have stuff to work on, man. So he found a coach to go in the gym and work with him. I thought that was phenomenal.
Here is from the morning show, Coach Calipari talking about you got to love being lonely.
I mean, you have to love being lonely. You have to spend extra time. You also have to have illogical confidence. Well, where does it come from? Well, either you're delusional or you live in the gym. And then you have that kind of confidence that is so strong, it doesn't matter what comes at you. I hate to put like 20 and 10 out there, but I will. That's kind of what I say.
And that's where the internet connection cut out.
It cut out.
But I mean, you get the point. You get what Calipari's saying. Like some of the greatest players ever have been a little bit insane. Yeah. Kobe was nuts. Jordan was nuts. Even like guys like Larry Bird were psychopaths with how they talked and how they approached the game, right? There just has to be that extra level in you. And the fact that Scott Perry, who is we know is such a people-oriented person and goes more old school. It's not that he ignores analytics and numbers necessarily, but he prioritizes who you are when I get you in a room or when I get you in the gym and we get one-on-one time together, how you interact with your teammates, how you interact with the coaching staff, how you answer the tough questions or the personal questions, and who you surround yourself with. All that stuff really matters to Scott Perry. So the fact that he continued to bring up what Coach Cal is talking about there, the competitiveness, the desire to be the best version of himself, and what excites me the most, Kayla, is that you see the star potential, but you know the areas of his game that you have to work on. He needs the time to be able to work on those. The Kings, all they have is freaking time right now, and the dude's 5-6 years away from his prime.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's crazy because I know it's been a minute, and we talked about it yesterday. I believe it was Marvin Bagley was the last younger player to be drafted here. But in all seriousness, I keep forgetting how young these guys are in this year's draft, right? And it is a bonus for that exact reason. The timing really lines up nicely for the Kings because he is so young. There is room to develop. Look, we all, as fans, want to see winning from the get-go. Nobody wants it more than Darius Acuff Jr. You heard him also say, I just want to win. But I think he also understands coming here, he's going to have a little bit of a runway to grow, to be coached, to grow with this younger team that's going to start to be here eventually, especially after this next year. I know it's hard for people to believe in the Kings because of what's happened in the past, but I'm telling you, just give it a chance. I do believe this is different. I do believe there's a new beginning that's going to happen. I can't guarantee that it's going to work, but it does feel like the right steps are being made to eventually get there. And the time is not like you have to do it now. There is a little bit of a runway.
We are just getting started. The next 3.5 hours are jam-packed of draft reaction, and also we're getting ready for round 2 today. If you want to call and share your thoughts on the pick and everything that happened in night 1, please do so. 916-339-1140. But Darius Acuff Jr. wasn't the only player the Kings selected last night. They moved back into the first round. I'll break down, I'll share with you how that came about, what they were trying to do, and why it came down to the wire, ultimately to bring Alex Karaban from UConn to Sacramento. Listen, it's not every day you scoop Shams. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Acuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Don't miss out on the biggest action sports event happening in Sacramento this June. Tickets are now live for MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026. See nearly 100 of the world's best skate, BMX, and Moto X athletes compete at Cal Expo June 26th through 28th. Music performances featuring electronic music icon Cascade on Friday, June 26th, and Grammy-winning producer and artist Mustard, and music producer DJ Subtronics on Saturday, June 27th. Score your tickets today at xgames.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents it's local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton and Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Maida Subaru says yes to big savings on the new Subaru you want during the sizzling summer sales event on now. Visit MaidaSubaru.com today for special spring savings on over 225 new and certified pre-owned Subarus.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
Gas prices got you down? Now is the time to save at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. When you save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab. With over 600 Rams available, your new Ram is waiting at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$15,000 total net savings after factory incentive and dealer discounts. Incentives include $500 on-the-job upfit for eligible upfit, $1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance on eligible trade-in, $500 Hoblet business owner bonus for verified business owners, and $9,500 dealer discount. 10th net savings. See dealer for details.
We've seen every kind of golf swing, some smooth, some, let's just say, innovative. And that's why Hagen Oaks offers Total Game Fitting. The TrackMan-powered player performance studio shows what your swing is really doing. Ping's Ball-Nemic Ball Fitter finds a ball that behaves. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps turn almost into yes. And FootJoy's 3D foot scanner builds stability from the ground up. At Hagen Oaks, we don't judge your game, we fix it. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Better fit, more fun. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
Really good text from our text line today that I actually didn't think about, from the 415. I think a huge advantage that nobody's talking about is that we have Bobby Jackson as an assistant head coach, who back in the heyday was a small point guard but a prolific scorer. This will benefit Darius. I would not be surprised at all if Bobby Jackson became, because every player has like their development coach that works with them one-on-one. If Bobby Jackson works with Acuff, I would not be shocked at that at all. I think that would be a very beneficial partnership for Darius Acuff. I'm very much looking forward to even just the mini camp before the California Classic and Summer League, just to see what Acuff Jr. looks like, the guys that they bring in, because we have the second round today. Yep. The Kings have the 45th pick. They no longer have 34 because of a move they made at the buzzer last night at the end of the first round of the draft. We'll get to that in just a second. But after that, too, there's all the undrafted free agents. Remember, Dylan Cardwell was an undrafted free agent. Keon Ellis was an undrafted free agent. So there are names to keep an eye on and moves for the Kings to make.
You think Keon would come? Do you think they'd bring him back here?
Keon?
Does Keon want to come back here?
I don't think Keon.
You know, there's all those little like trails of things that, oh well, the Keon's been posting this and Keon's been. I'm like, what are we doing now? Like detective work here? Yeah. I don't think that there's anything to that. Sorry, I just had to add that in because I had seen.
It'd be cool. I just don't think he wants to.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of over there.
I don't think Keon wants to come back, and I don't think the Kings are willing to pay him what he potentially could get on the open market. I don't even know what Keon Ellis's value is. We'll see that this summer when the Cavs try and figure that thing out. He is an unrestricted free agent this summer, so technically he could come back to the Kings if he wanted to. But in addition to the Kings drafting Darius Acuff Jr. last night, they moved back into the first round to 29 to go and get UConn's Alex Karaban. Now, before we talk about Alex specifically and who they got and why they went out and got him specifically, because they really, really liked him, we knew, because Jay Gaden was talking about it in New York last night, and we had talked about it numerous times, like the Kings were going to keep their options open and keep an eye on opportunities to move back into the first round for the right value to potentially go and scoop up another guy that they probably didn't feel would be there at 34. And I don't know about you, like I was watching Cameron Carr continue to fall and fall and fall. I'm like, maybe, but ultimately I don't think the Kings were interested in him. In fact, there were two names in particular that the Sacramento Kings were monitoring potentially moving back into the late first round to go out and get. They got one of them in Alex Karaban. The other one was Houston, teammate of Kingston Fleming's, Chris Senak Jr.
Who I really like, by the way.
Kind of the 4-5 combo forward, maybe could be a center at the NBA level in Houston. And he ended up going, I think it was 27, excuse me.
There were a lot of trades at the end.
Yes, and the Kings were trying to get into the mix to initially land Chris Senak Jr. He goes to Boston. So they were still keeping their eye on the possibility of Alex Karaban. So I've been hearing about this and monitoring this and if the Kings were going to make a move or not, because the one thing Scott Perry was not going to do, he was not going to overpay. He was not going to overreach. And I was not kidding you. I was about 30 seconds away from putting out a tweet when the Cavs were on the board at 20 or at 28, right before the Cavs went on the board at 29. I was about ready to put out a tweet saying, hey, the Kings' night is done. They're closing up shop. They're not able to move back in. We'll see what happens at 34. The reason for that was because the Kings were in conversation with the Cleveland Cavaliers at 29 about that spot specifically for a while. However, Cleveland was asking for 2 additional second rounders in addition to number 34. We ain't doing that. It's not worth it to move up. The Kings were like, no, we're not doing that. It's 1 second rounder and 34 or nothing.
Or that nothing, yeah.
So looked like the Cavs are going to say no. Okay, fine. We'll just go into the second round. We'll and hopefully Alex is there at 34. If he's not, oh well, we move on. We pivot. We move forward. Cavs come on the clock. Suddenly, bam. Kings get a phone call from the Cavaliers. All right, let's get this deal done. Cavs pick up an extra second rounder in addition to the 34th pick, which is the 4th pick in the second round today. Kings move up to 29. They go and get Alex Karaban out of UConn. It's how the game's played. It happens quick.
That's what I was going to say.
He was not going to get pushed around. He stuck to his price, and he got it done.
I love that. And I just watching the end of the draft, like that's where all the ups and downs trades left and right went. I mean, it was really hard. So one thing about the NBA draft I don't love is that a lot of it can't be out yet.
Oh, I hate it.
And it really bugs me. I'm not going to lie.
It's so archaic.
Like when the Knicks were like, it was like the first big one when the Knicks were on the board and they were doing like New York.
And it was a Lakers pick.
And it was a Lakers pick.
So
and
dumb.
I was just, and it was one pick below, like they switched essentially.
And Adam Silver coming up and going, we have a trade to announce, but it's something
awkward, right?
You already knew from 30 minutes ago. It's just so old school and archaic. And I know there's legal reasons for it and CBA and stuff like that. Also, I loathe Kayla. Here, let me wear a draft hat of a team I know isn't drafting me.
Me too.
I hate that.
Yeah, they get told right before, too.
I know,
like,
and
they
it's
walk
kinda
up and they're
crappy.
like, hey, you're going to get traded. We don't know where yet. And then they have to go up there and they don't know what to do. They have to put the hat on.
But that's their moment.
Yes.
And they shouldn't have to feel awkward. And that is what they feel. There's no anywhere around it. That's what they feel.
When Cameron Carr got drafted by the New York Knicks, even though we all knew, and we knew before the pick was in, we knew before the Knicks celebration was done that this was the Lakers pick.
Yep.
He's walking up to the stage, and you can see him. The camera's on him. You can see him mouthing, "I just got traded." Like telling people, "I'm getting traded."
Right. And Malika's like on the broadcast saying, "Oh yeah, I mean this is kind of weird because you're going to see him go up and put on a Knicks hat, but it's really not that." And
she had to juggle a lot.
By the way,
did really well.
She did a phenomenal job because there was a lot going on, especially towards the end of that draft. I myself was confused, so for her as a broadcaster to keep it all together, I was really impressed. But for your point of like, that's how crazy and by the second things are happening with these trades.
Yep.
So for you to have that and to get that out there even before Shams
Gotcha, Shams.
is crazy. But I was really excited, and I actually had to double, triple check that I wasn't like getting something wrong.
Yeah.
Because I was like, we knew it could happen that they moved up, but the draft was primarily like over.
Right.
And it hadn't been said yet.
Right.
But I was super excited. I love Karaban in terms of, and I know they had this debate on the morning show, like, what does it even mean that he's won? You know, he's been a winner at UConn and he's won 2 championships and he's like the all-time, I think like points, he's like a score. I can't remember like the exact
at UConn specifically.
At UConn specifically, he's like the winningest, I think, player.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, there's something crazy attached to it. I'll go look up it in the break, but I believe it's that. I know it doesn't really mean anything when it's all said and done, but it kind of does because
why wouldn't it?
When you're out on the court like Jalen Brunson was, and you're expected in big time moments that might only come once or twice in your career, but you're expected to be under that pressure and get it done. Mm-hmm. There is actually something that comes to being a winning player because those guys already have it in them of like they can do it in the highest pressured moments. And I think that's what being a winning player means. You might not win. Yeah, you might not win every day of your life, but it's the moments that you're ready for when they come that make you that guy that could be, you know, it could work for you.
At UConn, he is the all-time leader in wins with 126 games played with 151, starts with 150, minutes with 4,906, three-pointers in 299, and he is 8th in UConn's all-time scoring list with 1,880 points.
And I heard something like he's played in 3 national championship games for UConn. Is that right?
3 and 1 2.
That's insane.
That's at the college level.
Yeah, that's
You're
insane.
lucky to win 1 as a coach in your lifetime.
I mean, obviously he's an older prospect.
Well, sure.
But like at 29, that's the time to look for some of these guys because we knew a lot of the second round talent that we're going to see tonight, a lot of them are upperclassmen because it makes most sense, like in the case of like Andrei Stojakovic, for example. It makes the most sense to go back and get more money in NIL to potentially play for a winning program as a super senior, if you want to call it that, than to get drafted and have to scratch and claw your way potentially through the G League just to make a roster. Right? It makes more sense to go the college route. So you're going to start to see the second round and the later first round be more upperclassmen and all the young players continue to go high like we're expecting them to. But I can tell you the reason why the Kings felt we got to move up to go and get this guy, they did not believe he was going to be there at 34. They had, I believe, intel that he's going to go early second round.
Else they wouldn't have done that.
Right. Then why would have? But they wanted to make sure they can move up to secure him. And the reason why they liked him so much, he really impressed them in pre-draft workouts. Not just his shooting, because he shot lights out during his pre-draft workout, but how he was as, again, the personality, who they are as people, matters a lot to Scott Perry. They really like how he handled and how he treated others that were also there for workouts. He liked how he interacted with the coaching staff. The Kings just really, really liked him. Now, he is kind of a 3-4 in college, like a small forward / power forward. I think he's more of a 4 at the NBA level, although he is undersized. He's 6'8" in shoes, measured 6'7", does have like a 6'11" wingspan. He's not a super athlete by any means. He's a really good shooter. He is really good at finishing around the rim. You would expect him just to be a kind of catch and shoot perimeter merchant a la Doug McDermott. But Chris Watkins pointed this out to me last night. He shoots like 67% at the rim or something like that, which is really good. So he can get downhill. So he's not just a one-dimensional scorer. Defensively, he's not the quickest, but he's strong. So if you go into his chest, you're not necessarily going to knock him over, which is what gives me confidence that he'll be able to defend the 4 at a decent enough rate, but he's going to add shooting. He's going to space the floor. Think like a Trey Lyles, Nemanja Bjelica type fit for the Sacramento Kings off the bench if he earns that rotational spot right away. And like we talked about, he's a proven winner at UConn. So I like this pick for Sacramento.
I do too. I know some people didn't like it because, again, I think we get sometimes too much on this age thing because it's just like, well, they already have old players. Right. Here's the thing, though. He's a bottom of the first round guy. And again, yes, they traded up for him, but at the same time, you just got a 19-year-old who's going to be. I think it will all play out the way it's supposed to. He's not that old.
Yeah. When we come back, I want to take a moment to hype Sactown Sports up a little bit. Our entire team at Sactown Sports, all of our on-air teams, myself, Kayla, our digital team, we killed it yesterday. We're going to continue to kill it today. We'll do that. Plus, we'll hear about DeMarcus Cousins, his thoughts, his words about Darius Acuff Jr. joining the Kings. You know, Cousins will have thoughts on that, how much he likes Darius Acuff. And we'll hear from Acuff himself. We had a Zoom call with him after he was drafted last night. All of that is next. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Darius Acuff Jr. is a Sacramento King.
The Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr. from the University of Arkansas.
After a private workout and an entire offseason of speculation, the 6'2" point guard fell to the Kings at number 7 and will be the latest young star to take the floor in Sacramento. Will the SEC's leading scorer continue the small guard resurgence in the NBA?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Buy gold and put some silver in your pocket. I know what you're thinking. Everything's expensive right now. How am I going to buy gold? It's Ron Paul. Nowadays, a lot of things are out of your control, but there is something you can do right now to diversify your retirement, and it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket. My friends at Birch Gold Group will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, a time-tested hedge against inflation. Plus, in honor of America 250, Birch Gold is going to give you a special America 250 1-ounce silver round for every $10,000 you purchase by July 2nd. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898 to get a free info kit from Birch Gold and claim eligibility for this limited time offer. Again, text the word SECURE to 989898 today.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
NASCAR legend Michael Waltrip is coming to Echo Park Automotive Sacramento this Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Get there early to meet Michael and celebrate Echo Park's sponsorship of A.J. Allmendinger's number 16 Chevrolet at Sunday's Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway. 10 pairs of race tickets are up for grabs in a live drawing, plus score an autographed A.J. Allmendinger hero card. And while you're there, browse Echo Park's huge inventory. Get the new car feel without the new car price. This Thursday, 2 to 4.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got 'em. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Remember the days of real country music? Now you can get your favorite classic country every day on 105.1 HD3 The Ranch. Listen to The Ranch on the free KNCI app or anytime at 105.1 HD3.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Are you looking for a night out that actually delivers? Grab your friends and head to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. We've got cold drinks, great vibes, and live baseball all in one place. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
Really quick, want to just clarify something because I understand it can be a little bit confusing. I'm going back and forth with someone on the text line just for clarification purposes. So, breaking down the details of the trade that the Sacramento Kings made with the Cleveland Cavaliers to get Alex Caravan. They, in order to move up a spot, they would have to they'd have to swap spots plus add something on top of that to give the Cavs incentive to move down from 29 to 34. So they gave up one additional second rounder. So 34 plus a future second rounder. We don't know the details of what that is. The Cavs initially wanted 2 additional second rounders on top of 34. So 3 second rounders total for the Kings to move up 5 spots, to which the Kings said no and stuck to it. That's why or at least I, thought the deal was dead until the Cavs were on the clock, and they came back and they ultimately came to an agreement. So hopefully that clarifies things. I know things get a little tricky when all second rounders are involved, and late first round picks can get weird too.
So this 34 coming up.
Yes, so
and
34
then
tonight.
A future second, we do not know the date.
A future second, no clue when.
Okay.
At least I haven't heard when. It might be out there. I have not been told when. But really quickly, I want to share some love to our entire team here at Sactown Sports, because we've worked really hard throughout this pre-draft process to be all over this for you. From myself and Kayla talking about all the Darius Acuff Jr. stuff that we've heard. Again, going back to March, all the breakdowns and handling of information, misinformation, smoke screens, talking through it for all 3 of our shows, the Drive Guys, the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, our amazing digital team from Brendan Nunez, who did a phenomenal job putting out twice a week these big draft breakdowns and in-depth coverage that you're not going to find anywhere else, because it's Kings-centric from someone who's a basketball psychopath in Brendan Nunez.
He's like the Acuff of like breakdowns in terms of
he is.
Basketball.
He's obsessed with it. All the great work that he did. Chris Watkins, from all the video editing he does to all the graphics, getting the graphics up and out last night. Nobody had these draft pick graphics and trade graphics up quicker than Sactown Sports last night. Frankie Cardicelli running the whole ship, managing everything on the website as well. Just as a station, getting Coach Calipari this morning. Awesome. I mean, just as a station, I'm so proud of what we've done and how we covered this draft, how we handled this draft, and we hope that it reflects or that you enjoyed it, you got what you needed out of it in terms of the information. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of myself for being able to get the information that we got on draft night. Being able to beat Shams to a trade is pretty rad for any local journalism. So I just want to take a moment to shout out us as an entity, as the home of the Sacramento Kings here, because we kicked some serious butt on our draft coverage, and it continues tonight with round 2. Also, extra special shout out to Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles, who did a whole hour, if not more, of extra radio last night to react to the pick. Brendan Nunez hopped on with them. Sactown Sports is your home of the Kings for a reason, and I'm really proud of our coverage last night.
Yep, that's definitely if you want Kings moving. And again, we've got this show is still fairly new here. The Drive Guys is a different combo now. Obviously, the morning guys have been here together for a while, but I think our mission, had moving forward with this new jump into what the Kings hopefully can be is just to give you the best coverage, the best knowledge, the breaking stuff that we have before, if we can get it to you. That's what our job is. And then obviously to have you guys be a part of it. And what I've enjoyed the most about this first year, getting to do all this for the first time in this market, is all the participation we've got, all the people that are in the YouTube chat, the text line that participate, even when we don't see eye to eye on some things. It doesn't have to be always like that. It's just fun to know that people care that much. And this is the day that you get to kind of feel good about yourself. Even if you maybe weren't an Acuff fan, it feels nice to kind of get something that the Kings wanted.
Right.
So
before we get to DeMarcus Cousins and his thoughts on the Darius Acuff Jr. selection, let's go to our guy, TC. He's been with us throughout this process as well. TC, how'd you like draft night?
Man, draft night was awesome. Kayla, Matt, what's up?
What's up, TC?
Man, hey, I'm excited. Listen, we got back into the first round, kind of like I was saying. Listen, bro, these dudes is knocking it out the park, and it's that repetition, and it's also being reputable around the league. BJ and Scott, man, they're working the phone. Hey, look out. We're going to have Trevin Brazile at 45. Mark that in. If we don't get Brazile, we got Bamba Miller to fall back on. And I don't know who the undrafted guy might be. Perry is knocking it out. I'm going to tell you again, Matt and Caleb, listen, Kings fans, the moves that are being made right now will have us be a legitimate team next year back in the play-in. This isn't me being overexcited. This is me being serious. I love you guys, bro. I'm excited. We won the draft.
TC, we appreciate you. Love the confidence. Love the excitement. I'll just say this. Scott Perry and B.J. Armstrong, they know exactly what they're doing, and they continue to show it with how these first two drafts have gone. Really quickly, because we teased it, I want to pay this off. Here is DeMarcus Cousins, who was live with Bleacher Report yesterday, breaking down all these draft picks. Boogie has plenty of thoughts about the Sacramento Kings, but I think he's been doing a phenomenal job as of late as kind of a basketball analyst. And here's what he had to say about Darius Acuff Jr. to Sacramento.
If you're the Kings GM, Boogie, and Acuff falls to you at 7, are you just grinning ear to ear?
Absolutely, and there was a lot of, speculation leading up to this is, the two names being attached as far as the Kings loving Acuff. Also, Scott Perry having history with his father, so that also makes a lot of sense. But you can't speak enough about this kid and, what he brings to the game. I think this is a great pick for the Kings as far as righting the ship, creating a culture there. I think this is a great culture starter for the Kings. You get your lead guard, you can kind of start building around that as far as building out your future. But Darius Acuff is the perfect pick for the Kings. Please take great care of him. I'm a huge fan of the kid. We know how Sacramento gets, but take care of him. That's what I was thinking. And, I think this is a good pick for them moving forward.
For someone who had their issues with the media, Boogie is damn good at this media game.
Yeah, he's so good at it. I love it. I love it. I'm like, he's kind of out there, but
Love to hear more.
You only can speak truth.
Come on back to Sacramento, Boogie, and come see Darius Acuff Jr.
Boogie on down here.
Boogie
Come on
down.
our show, Boogie.
We'll take the break. When we come back, he's been a friend of ours throughout this draft process. The guys at No Ceilings have done such incredible work, and their job's not done. They got the second round tonight. But Tyler Rucker joins us from No Ceilings to break down the first night of the draft for the Kings and the Darius Acuff Jr. pick that we all saw coming next here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings landed Darius Acuff Jr. at number 7. But that wasn't enough. Just before the end of the first round, Scott Perry moved back up to select UConn forward Alex Caravan as the winningest player in UConn basketball history. Will Caravan's shooting ability and championship pedigree help build a new winning culture in Sacramento?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms? At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the match day spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Mark your calendars because MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026 is landing at Cal Expo June 26th through 28th. Witness nearly 100 of the world's best athletes compete in skate, BMX, and Moto X events and catch live music performances by global electronic music icon Cascade on Friday night and Grammy-winning producer and artist Mustard and electronic music producer and DJ Subtronics on Saturday night. Don't miss MoonPay X Games. Lock in your tickets now at xgames.com.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Typically, a high handicapper carries an index of 20 or more. Golf Monthly's Barry Plummer offers 4 tips if you're tired of that high handicap. First, choose the right equipment. Invest in a 5-wood, which is more forgiving than a 3-wood or 3 hybrid. It's a much better option for getting the ball in the air. Second, play for bogey on par 5s. Break the longer holes into manageable chunks, perhaps aiming to hit the green with 4 easy swings while also navigating away from the trouble along the way. 3, leave the sand wedge in the bag for chipping. Up and down percentages are almost twice as good when chipping a 9-iron over a sand wedge, and 3.5 times better with the putter. And finally, stop leaving your putts short. A 20 handicapper leaves 55% of their missed putts short of the hole. Give yourself a chance with every attempt and don't leave another putt short. Try these simple tips and let's see whether your handicap starts to come down. And have some fun out there. That'll help too. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
HDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Darius Acuff with a 3-ball that goes. 34 points. Acuff, he is a scoring machine. It is Acuff, quick release. Oh my goodness! Acuff rises, ties the game. The jump stop. Acuff got him again. He got the block behind the back. Here's Acuff for 3. Yes! There's hustle from Acuff. He's been ignited.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
Get ready for a bunch of Gary Gerald, the G-Man calls of Darius Acuff Jr. raining threes inside the Golden One Center and around NBA arenas throughout the country. Listen, yesterday was a long day. Ended up being a 16-hour day for me, but my day was easy mode. Compared to my guy Tyler Rucker and the rest of the No Ceiling staff. They've been hustling for months. They dropped one of the coolest NBA street-themed draft guides you will ever find, and the information in there, it was just incredible and such a valuable resource to have. I had to have Tyler on. I was amazed I was going to be able to get him with how busy my man is right now. But Tyler, it was the worst-kept secret. We all saw it coming, and yet it's still pretty cool that Darius Acuff Jr. is a Sacramento King.
Hey, great to be back with you guys. It's awesome that they got it pulled off. I was like, hey, looks like Darius is going to fall right into the laps, and I think Kings fans should be very excited. It was probably one of my favorite fits of the first round. Going up into the draft, I was thinking, like, oh, man, if Acuff landed there and it really happens, I think this is a great match. So I'm happy for Kings fans. I think they're going to get really excited quickly. I'm excited to see him in Summer League coming up soon.
Tyler, before we talk more about Acuff specifically and what he can do for the Sacramento Kings, can we talk really quick about the 2 picks ahead of them, right? The Clippers going Wagler, which we thought made the most sense fit-wise next to Darius Garland for a while. They end up going with that. Mikel Brown Jr. ends up being the pick for the Brooklyn Nets at 6. Of course, we're a little biased here in Sacramento. I think Scott Perry did a masterful job navigating the rumors and information to make sure he wouldn't have to trade up in order to get his guy. What do you make of those 2 selections, those 2 guards ahead of Acuff at 5 or 6 that allowed the Kings to get who they think is the best guard in this draft?
Yeah, I think going into the draft, you talk to a lot of teams and everyone's had so much respect for a lot of these guards. There's a lot of, excitement and you kind of, when you asked around, you got a different order from every team you talked to. And that was kind of the narrative with this. It was like, hey, everyone loves all of these guards. They're all super talented. They've got a lot of potential. It just really comes down to the order of like what's the team preference, the fit, and I think going into the lottery, even going back to then, it was kind of coming down that way of like, hey, these guards can go in any order. It's just kind of how's the lottery going to play out. So, even though, Keaton Wagler, I think with the Clippers made a ton of sense because they got Darius Garland and it seems like a smart, upside fit that you can be patient with his shooting and kind of like, okay, he can learn a little bit and not be thrown into the fire. Mikel Brown, I think, is super talented and fantastic potential. But when it was coming down, like, hey, I know Acuff was the 3rd guard, technically point guard, and falls to the Kings. Like, there's still a chance he could be one of the best guards from this class. So I think, they all landed in great spots. When I was getting ready for all of this, I was kind of like, this is how I would probably see it. It seems like it's the best fit for each of these players. And I think Darius landed in an outstanding, position to kind of take control of the reins hopefully early and also like learn through reps. And he's going to be a very fun one. Kings fans are going to be excited. I mean, he's tough. He's nasty. So I like how the board played out. I thought it was a fun night. I know everyone's always expecting fireworks, and this is our reality TV for sports fans, but it seemed like pretty simple. And I was like, okay, no surprises. Everyone's going to fun places. This is going to be a really cool class.
Yeah, I know. I was, Tyler Rucker of No Ceilings joined us here on the Matt and Kayla Show. I was talking to Matt, on our show before the draft yesterday, and we're like, man, like in a way, we kind of want something to be shaken out at the top in terms of a little bit of a surprise. And we thought maybe Cam Boozer goes at number 2. But honestly, that all went according to plan too, really all the way through probably the 8th pick. Everything kind of seemed according to plan. Mm-hmm. Did you see any surprises with how things went in terms of those 1 through 5 spots at all? Or do you think maybe a player should have gone at a different spot?
It's funny. We were kind of talking about it before, the first round started, and we were like, wow, it's funny. You talk to teams, and even coming down to like the last kind of 24 hours when you're finally doing your scrams for intel and everything, every year you kind of feel like you talk to at least a couple teams that they're very like confident and adamant about, like, hey, at least I know the top 3. Like, I know it's good. But no one had that feeling this year. Everyone was like, I think it's this way, but I'm not, like, confident. Like, I still am ready for fireworks. I'm still ready for a surprise. So I think we're all still on kind of just on the edge of our seat of, like, hey, this could still happen. It had weird kind of vibes of the old Paulo Banchero, like, Chet Holmgren draft where we all thought Jabari Smith was going 1 for 72 hours leading up into the draft. And then all of a sudden an hour before it was like, oh, Paulo's going first. Oh my gosh. So it kind of had like everyone waiting. Are we going to get a curveball like that? But I think it was the order I was expecting. I thought Darren at 2 was a great get for Utah. I love the fit there. And I thought, AJ and Cam going where they went, I thought it's a great landing spot for both those guys. It was kind of funny. Everyone was like, this is chalk. This is boring. We want a curveball. And I was like, wow, the front offices are getting a lot smarter now. Everyone's like drafted better. We're not getting too many, oh my gosh, what are they doing? So I thought it's a fun draft. And, especially after last year's rookie class, really impressed. I think there's a good chance this one's going to be even better.
Tyler, as you know, so much of the pre-draft process is what is happening off the court, in the conversations and the personalities and getting to know the players. And while there's so much, whether it's on highlight tape or the numbers and analytics of what they say about how good Darius Acuff Jr. is as an offensive player, certainly question marks on the defensive end too. What stood out to me when talking to Sacramento Kings general manager Scott Perry in his post-game press conference, Perry repeatedly brought up, most of the time unprompted, how much of a competitor Darius Acuff Jr. is. It was very clear that that's what attracted the Kings to Acuff the most. My favorite line that he dropped about Acuff is he said when he walks into a room, he is the best. He believes he's the best player there. He's the best guy there. And he says it's not arrogance, it's quiet confidence. Over the course of the pre-draft process, and I know you're dealing with hundreds of prospects, but with Darius Acuff Jr. specifically, what was it about off the court that you were hearing about him, and how much do you like from No Ceilings? How much do you enjoy hearing those kind of breakdowns from general managers about players and their competitiveness?
Yeah, I think the challenge this year was because of all of these guards and because of how talented they were. You know, when you're doing your intel dives, talking to teams, you were kind of looking like, all right, well, where's going to be the questionable intel that might create some separation between these guys? You couldn't find it. It was just one of those like, oh, all these guys are just intel through the roof. Teams love them. And you're like, okay, someone's got to have something so we can make this a little bit easier. And he just never got that. And when you get to Darius, the first thing I wrote is like tough, just the competitor, the toughness. And it's what you said. It's not the arrogance or cockiness. It's just, he's a tough player that's going to be ready to go. And I think that's so crucial for a young guard because, you know, this is the hardest position probably in all sports to transition to is being a rookie point guard in the NBA. Cause it's not just the speed of the games turned up. It's now you're managing personalities, you're an extended playbook and a lengthier season. So you got to have that strong mental build and toughness to be willing to be like, okay, I can battle through some adversity. And, you know, a team like the Kings that's trying to really take some steps forward. I thought they had another great draft, and that's how you do it. You keep stacking good drafts together. You need someone to kind of be the leader and get everyone on, you know, to follow his path. And I think Darius is the perfect fit for the Kings for that of like, okay, now you have this tough-minded guard that even if, you know, he has a little cold slump, he's still going to battle. He's still going to work. He's still going to be in the gym. and he's going to fight through it. And, you know, that's what you've heard about him his whole basketball career is the toughness, the mental makeup. And he's also one of those players that he's got the build, he's got the gifts to also dish out some punishment. So I know everyone's going to focus on the defense. I've heard it so many thousands and thousands of times going up in the draft. And I was like, if anyone's going to figure it out, it's going to be Darius Acuff, because now he's heard that for this whole time. Everyone's asking him, what about your defense? What about your defense? He's going to be ready and motivated to prove it. And, you know, this is going to be a guy probably that's going to hopefully have an early opportunity with the Kings. And wouldn't shock me if he's in the Rookie of the Year conversation, because that's the type of player he is. And he's going to produce. It's just how quickly can both sides of the ball come together for Darius. But I think he's going to land with a great spot.
How much does, you know, knowing that, I know that fit doesn't, it's not the first thing every team thinks about when they're drafting, right? It's like whatever the talent is there, like you're going to pick the best talent. But I also feel like with the point guards in this year's draft, I kind of feel like a lot of them fell to the right places in terms of fit. And with him here, Darius Acuff Jr., how much does it mean to just know that there's a little bit of a runway to learn and to make mistakes? Because it's not like their sole goal right now is to go out and win a championship. Like, they want to do that, but in reality, it gives him a little leeway to make those mistakes and to learn from them, and maybe not have as much pressure to be, you know, going out of the gates running to a trophy.
Yeah, it's everything. It's you know, one of my favorite things is kind of like today, just looking back at the first round and being like, okay, like I like these players. I might have had them higher on my board, but where did they land? Do I like where they ended up? And sometimes you almost want to kind of like, okay, I could make another board off of just that. And you know, it's funny because the night before the draft, you know, I'm doing my last calls, intel, and talking about just players overall and the draft, and I kind of got to. We were talking about like, hey, where do we think teams should go? And it got to, you know, the Clippers pick, which everyone around the league was like, hey, the draft starts at 5. We all know who the 4 players are going to be at top. And someone was like, well, hey, what would you do? And I was like, well, I think they're going to go Wagler. And then he's like, well, what would you do? And I was like, well, I think Darius would be a serious conversation. He's like, when you're picking that high, you got to swing best talent and don't care about the fit. And he's like, I think Darius is the best talent. So he's like, I would have taken him at 5, but they've got Garland, so is that a tricky fit? And I think that's where you like to see last night. Like, I completely agree. Everyone landed in a great spot, and Darius is in a fantastic place with the Kings because you can play him early. You can let him learn from reps. And we've seen with a lot of these teams that are kind of on that rebuild path, like the Washington Wizards a couple of years ago. It was great that they got to draft these young players and just play them and be like, hey, it's okay if you make mistakes. We're going to learn together, but you're going to get better from reps. And that's such a valuable asset when, you know, an organization, the front office, and the coaching staff are all kind of on the same page of like, we're going to draft these guys and develop them and play them and get them some reps and, you know, not just put them on the bench to hope that they figure it out in year 2, year 3. So I think Darius landed in a great spot. A lot of these guards landed in kind of a perfect spot because the most important thing for development is you got to get some confidence and you got to be able to build off of that confidence. And this is a tough position to get confidence early. So I think with Darius and having his mental makeup and with the Kings needing someone to be like, hey, we got time to figure this out and we're going to learn through this together. I think it's just a perfect match.
Tyler Rucker from No Ceilings is joining us. And by the way, for my money, the team at No Ceilings, in terms of just broad team coverage of this entire draft process and this entire draft class, it doesn't get better than what they're doing over there. We're nice enough, or Tyler's nice enough. We're nice enough.
We're nice enough to
get Tyler a platform. Tyler's nice enough to give us some of his time, which is very precious right now. Tyler, for the second year in a row, the Sacramento Kings move back into the first round later on. They did so at 24 last year to get Nick Clifford, which ended up being their only first-round pick last year. And this year they move in at the last second at the shot clock buzzer at 29 with the Cavaliers to ultimately take Alex Karaban. Before we get to specifics about Alex and what you like about him out of UConn to the Kings there, what do you make of the trade and using 2 seconds, the 34th pick, and a future second rounder ultimately to move up? I can tell you that the Kings had their eyes both on Alex Karaban and also were taking a look at Chris Sinak Jr., who ended up going to the Boston Celtics at 27. But what do you think about this move and taking the opportunity to sneak back in at the very end of the first round to go out and get Alex Karaban?
Yeah, I love it. I love what the Kings have been doing these last couple drafts. I think Scott Perry's done a great job of kind of monitoring the board and not, I think when you don't have a pick, a lot of teams are kind of like, all right, well, we sniffed and we're not going to do it. We'll just wait for tomorrow. And I think the smart teams kind of just be patient and kind of analyze like, all right, like how is the board playing out? Like where do we need to maybe get to go get our guy? And I'm a big believer of like, if you love someone, go get him. Don't wait around. Don't try to get cute and be like, maybe he's there. Like, just go get him. And I think the smart teams you're seeing that are doing this, this rebuild, kind of trying to almost speed it up, if you want to put it that way, I think are seeing that there's opportunities to kind of get back in the first round and try to add these pieces. And, getting Alex Karaban was a guy that I thought, I had heard the Kings were pretty high on, and I heard he had some good workouts, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, because it's one of those players where, hey, he might not have the highest upside of some of these other guys that, hey, teams at the end of the first round might swing a little bit because like, what if we get surprised? But I think the smart rebuilding teams go and say, we know what Alex Karaban is, a player like this. We know he can help us. We also know like his background, he's another tough player like Darius Acuff. He's a winning player at UConn, played for a great coach. He's going to be willing to help that team move forward as well. And I think now you're starting to see the Kings are building a little bit of a culture, and you're starting to put the pieces together where it's like, okay, now you could build a team that has this good locker room presence and kind of foundation of like, hey, these guys are competitors. And it's going to be like, no nonsense. We're trying to figure out how to get this thing right and grow together. So I think Karaban's just one of those smart players that like he understands what he is and how he can make an impact on the court. And a lot of these guys, that are in a weird way to say it, like it's almost like an asset when you get a guy that's like, I know I'm humbled a little bit. I played college lengthy. I figured out what I am as a basketball player. Because a lot of these young guys still think like, hey, I could be a all-NBA, superstar. And you also realize when they play a couple years in college, they realize like, okay, maybe not, but I can impact the game. I can figure out what to do at the next level. And I think Karaban's, you heard great things about him. He's probably one of the easiest evaluations where it's like, yep, he can play, he can help you out, he's versatile. I think it's just a really smart thing. You get your potential superstar, Darius Acuff, and then you say, you know what, we're going to get another piece, and it's going to be another piece that could help in this rotation. That's how you start building a really nice roster.
What do you think with another pick here in the second? Obviously, they don't have the early pick in the second. What do you think they could go and get? Because I'm guessing that a lot of people think they'll be more defensive minded when it comes to a player since they kind of went all out offense with Darius and Karaban. But what would you look at in that second round around that 40 mark?
Yeah, I think this second round, there was a lot of buzz going up into like the withdrawal deadline and everything. Of people were a little scared that the draft was like, oh, it's gonna lose all the firepower. A bunch of people are gonna go back, and there was some names that went back, but then it kind of got a little bit intriguing with the second rounder of like, hey, I like to say there's specialists.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of guys like Karaban that kind of know what they are. They might have like a weakness where like, hey, they might not be the best shooter, but it might be like they're fantastic defensively. They're really tough, rebounding. So I think this is another opportunity for a team like the Kings. Like there's good value. There's good potential to kind of be surprised of like, oh, wow, we got another one. Like they found Dylan Cardwell last year, which was a great get for them.
Right.
And not even in the draft, but this is like that kind of, there's a lot of those prospects where you're like, you might get something that you're like, hey, this is a guy that's going to stick and be here for a little bit. So I think there's some good defensive guys. I know I know they took Darius, but I also think there's still some guards if you want to even get another one and get some more depth there. But it's a good little mix of whatever you're trying to look for or whatever vision you might have for this team. You could probably find a nice piece. There's definitely some good defensive players. Like Dylan Mitchell is a popular name, really, really special athlete and defensive talent. I think Otega Owe would be a really nice fit for the Kings. He's a tough guard from Kentucky who I think is going to be better for like his NBA role than he was kind of had to do at Kentucky. And then someone like Isaiah Nelson's kind of like an athletic forward that kind of is a very vocal defensive presence. So there's some good pieces. I'm excited to kind of see what they do, but I think the board's kind of shaping up where there's good value still left. That like people are a little surprised they're still on the board, but that happens every year with this draft. You kind of see guys trickle into that day two.
Tyler, I got two more quick ones for you before we let you go. Number one, did the entire league screw up allowing the Thunder to get Ade Mara so that he could stop Victor Wembanyama? And number two, have you bought your flight tickets yet to Sacramento for 4th of July, California Classic Day 1, Darius Acuff Jr. versus Michael Brown Jr. in the Golden One Center? Have you bought your tickets yet?
For Mara, good fit for the Thunder. I don't know if there's a Wemby stopper on the Earth, so we might need to try to find someone outside of Earth to do that. But I liked him landing with the Thunder, and then I have not bought my ticket yet. But I was literally after this call about to look up the schedule, so I'm glad you guys just told me that. Very excited to watch that. I love watching the California Classic. That'll be fun, and then I will be in Summer League Las Vegas, so I'll be able to see all these guys. I'm excited for that too. But that's a fun one right out of the gate for Kings fans. I can't wait to watch that one.
Listen, Tyler, you buy flights, lodging, everything like that. I'll buy you a little bit of popcorn, all right? The little extra incentive for you to get out here.
Good deal. Good deal right there. Good deal. I like that.
Tyler, you've done phenomenal work. That coverage will continue throughout the second round. You and your team over there at No Ceilings today. And then, of course, that coverage continues into Summer League and beyond. And you already have your eye on the excitement of next year's draft class, too, 2027, which is going to be, talk about chaos after this draft lottery reform. Who the hell knows who's going to be picking where in 2027, but we appreciate you taking the time, my friend. Keep up the great work and get some rest too. You've almost made it through.
Thank you guys so much. You guys have a good one. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tyler.
The great Tyler Rucker over there from No Ceilings. It was the worst kept secret, but it seems like the consensus, and in the next segment we'll get into what all the national experts are saying and draft grades, which some people think are silly. I always think they're fun. But pretty much around the league, it's like, this is the Sacramento Kings guy. The Kings just went out and got their guy.
It's rare that you find a person, you identify a person, and then it actually all of it works out according to plan.
Right.
It doesn't always happen like that in sports. So it is good to see that it happened, and that obviously it's even more beneficial to hear this morning that most people feel the same way.
Yeah. Tyler's coverage over there has been fantastic.
Yeah,
Tyler,
they've been busy.
Tyler was one of those guys that checked in with me at the draft combine when he was seeing these guys in person. He's just like, man, so many of these options for the Sacramento Kings that make sense to them. Like, I'm going to be very not that I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan by any means. I'm going to be very locked into what Kingston Flemings looks like, because the Kings had the opportunity to get both of them, and they ultimately went with the guy that we thought they'd go with Darius Acuff Jr. I have very firm confidence that if the Nets decided, screw you, we're going Acuff, and even if Michael Brown Jr. was there, I'm very confident that I think the Kings would have gone Kingston Flemings. I know they very, very much like Kingston Flemings. There's a lot of what he brought to the table. Acuff's just been their guy from the start for a plethora of reasons, which we've laid out here today. But I think Kingston Flemings is going to be a baller too, and I'm very interested to see what kind of career he has in Atlanta.
I wish him the best, not as best as Darius Acuff here, but in all honesty, I love Kingston too, and I hope he does a great job there in the ATL.
Appreciate Tyler for coming on. We'll take the break. When we come back, let's hear what ESPN, CBS, The Athletic, Yahoo, NBC Sports, and The Ringer had to say about what the Sacramento Kings did on draft night. And if they give them bad grades, we're sending Kayla Anderson after them. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Acuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Feel the force at Star Wars night with the Sacramento River Cats. Join us at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, July 11th for themed fun, costumes, and summertime baseball under the lights. It's one of the most popular nights of the season. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Struggling to find your perfect Ram truck? Look no further. Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland has the best selection of hard-to-find Ram heavy duties, and right now you can save up to $14,000 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 2500 and 3500s. Your new Ram is waiting at hobletdodge.com.
14,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie after 10,500 dealer discount. Incentives include $500 on-the-job upfit for eligible upfit, 1,000 Hoblet business owner bonus with proof of business ownership, 1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance with eligible trade-in. 10 of the net savings, see dealer for details.
You can buy golf clubs anywhere, but buy clubs that fit the shelf instead of your swing. That's why Hagen Oaks offers total game fitting. TrackMan dials in your driver and irons. Ping's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your perfect golf ball. Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And FootJoy's 3D foot scanner matches you with balance and stability. Whether you're a beginner or accomplished, your best game starts with the right fit. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Better fit, more fun. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
It's time for your Sactown Soccer Report. Powered by Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District.
This week's key matches include Jordan versus Algeria, England versus Ghana, Switzerland versus Canada, Turkey versus USA, Norway versus France, and Panama versus England.
In soccer, defense wins championships. At home, defense stops mosquitoes. Train standing water. That's your back line. Dress with sleeves and defend with repellent. That's your keeper. Keep your doors and screens tight. That's your shutout. Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District. More tips at fightthebite.net.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
Kayla, every time you do anything, I'm immediately going to give you a grade. Does that sound fair?
I'm actually fine with that.
You just took a bite of apple, B-.
How about the fact that I have my Reeboks on today?
The new Acuff 1's coming soon.
I know.
He's got legit Reeboks coming, dropping. He's getting a signature shoe already.
I might have to get some because I am a Nike girl for the most part, but I grew up with Reebok. And I got these the other day, way before the draft. But I was just like, these are kind of cool retro.
Yeah.
And then I saw for sure he is doing the shoe deal.
Yeah.
Acuff Jr.
See,
so that'll be cool.
Reebok Questions are some of the best shoes of all time. Allen Iverson's first shoe, they're so nice.
I like to pretend that I have a brand deal with Nike, so I literally only buy Nike products.
Sure.
So
you like to
B+.
Maybe you can get that, man.
B+
Just a free brand deal.
It's dedication.
I like those shoes. They're pretty, but B+ because I'm a Nike guy. So I have to grade on a bias, of course.
Sure. I mean, I wear Nikes every day for the most part.
You do.
I have a whole
It would have
bunch
been
of
an
them.
A. But it's B+.
I got to represent Acuff today.
See, I'm weird. I like draft grades. I like trade grades. I like the.
You
I
do
think
like
it's,
grades.
because I think it's silly. I think it's fun. I think it creates good conversation, and it really is just me saying I really like this, or I kind of like this, or I didn't really like this. Like that's what I get, and it's fun to always revisit grades and go back and go, they gave that an A or they gave that an F, like that. I think draft grades create good content and good conversation. So. Let's do it on this radio show. Now, ESPN decided to do things different because, we're ESPN, we got to do things different. Instead of just doing draft grades, they did their round one winners, surprise picks, questions, yada, 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 where they had Jeremy Woo, Ben Golliver, and Bobby Marks all team up just to identify different things, like their biggest winners, their biggest losers, blah, blah, blah. The one area where the Kings are mentioned is this. Outside of the top 4 picks, who would be your choice to win Rookie of the Year? Here's what Golliver said. Darius Acuff Jr. The Sacramento Kings will cast Acuff, the number 7 pick out of Arkansas, as their latest point guard of the future after trading former lottery picks De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton in recent years. Well, you didn't have to say that. Sacramento endured a truly demoralizing 2025-2026 season. You didn't have to say that either. In part because of Doug Christie relying too heavily on his veterans.
Yep.
Hopefully the Kings course correct next season by empowering Acuff, who led the SEC in scoring and assists as a freshman. If Sacramento turns him loose, the 19-year-old has a chance to follow in the footsteps of another John Calipari-coached guard who won Rookie of the Year with the Kings, Tyreek Evans. Well, personally, I'm hoping he's way better than Tyreek Evans. But yeah, start him day one. Give him the green light. Go out there and score and win Rookie of the Year, my dude.
And that's what he's got to be, Acuff has got to be excited about.
Yes.
The fact that, look, does he have nerves probably sometimes? Yeah. But I think he is the type of player, though, that like doesn't let that get in the way. And even when he makes those mistakes, I think he's the type of player, again, that's going to be like, okay, that's gone. That's in the past. I don't dwell on that.
Right.
I think that mindset is why Perry and them really like him. And so now, like giving him that leeway to kind of go out there, make mistakes, correct them. There's no better way to learn than on the freaking spot.
You mentioned that earlier on the show, didn't you? Because Calipari said in his interview, he said, Darius Acuff Jr. is not afraid to miss the game winner.
That's exactly what he said.
And I'm not disrespecting the guys that are currently on. Like, Domantas Sabonis is still here. Darius Acuff Jr. actually singled out Sabonis as the guy he was most excited to play with in Sacramento.
Did he even hesitate?
No, he's just like all these guys are talented, but Sabonis is the first guy he named.
Interesting.
And Twitter had me rolling because everyone was like,
I know.
How do we tell him? But Domas, I don't think is going anywhere.
No,
Zach
not-
LaVine, I'm expecting
not this
still to be
year.
here. Like, the Kings are still going to have very capable players, and you don't just want to give everything to the rookie right away. But also, like, give everything to the rookie right away, you know? Just, like, let him go.
Yeah.
Unleash him.
Let him loose. And, again, we talked about it at the end of last year. Remember when we were going back and forth about should we just let these younger players get most of the minutes towards the end of the year?
Yeah.
And, some people were still like, we want to win games, like let DeMar and them play.
Yeah.
And then I think we were more so like, just get these guys experience.
Yes.
Let them learn, let them make mistakes, and then build that confidence.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the end that guys like Neek were getting better at that.
Very much so.
And
finding out
that's
how they contribute to winning.
for sure.
Yeah.
And so I think he'll get the opportunity from the jump to do that as a starter.
Yes, he should be getting 30-plus minutes a night immediately. And I think the Kings will learn, and hopefully Acuff will learn, that the best chance for the Kings to win is giving Darius Acuff Jr. 30-plus minutes a night. Like, the best version of the Kings is going to be Darius Acuff Jr. being probably one of the best players, if not the best scorer on the team immediately.
Yep.
That's the best version of the Kings right away with how this roster is built right now. All right, how about CBS Sports? CBS Sports gave the Kings an A- grade for their selection of Darius Acuff Jr. This is exactly what Sacramento wanted to do and didn't have to trade up to get him. Acuff gives the Kings the type of offensive alpha creator they don't yet have, and he provides a much more immediate impact than other players on the board, especially on the offensive end of the floor. Acuff is a shot creator and a multi-level scoring threat. He has the strength, balance, and poise to dictate his own pace and supplements that with extreme confidence to deliver in big games and moments. There are some concerns with his defensive commitment and approach. Size, length, and athleticism are adequate for NBA standards, but not ideal. A- from CBS Sports for the Darius Acuff selection.
Yeah, not bad. Still in the A category. I think some of these breakdowns are always going to put a little bit of a mark down for the defense because it is just a question mark. Later on, I am curious as I heard Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross talking about this morning.
Yeah.
About at this point, now that we know Acuff is here, does he need like that vet?
Like a Russ?
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Just because like we don't know yet who the other guy, well, Malik Monk, but
yeah, I don't know who that mentor is right now.
Right.
I mean,
or if he even needs one.
Well, he does. So, every rookie needs a vet, and the vet doesn't necessarily have to be at your position. But we always talked about going back to when we were debating should the Kings bring Russell Westbrook back. Mm-hmm. In a weird way, it was almost like, no, if the Kings draft a rookie point guard, you almost want Russell Westbrook more in that sense to be a leader. I think the Kings are probably trending in more of a direction right now where they're not going to bring him back. Plus, financially, I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know if he's going to have any more interest around the league. And I don't know what kind of cap space the Sacramento Kings are going to have. We'll see. We're hearing reports about them waiving and stretching DeMar DeRozan too. Plus, they're interested in bringing Precious Achiuwa back. Kings got a lot of things to figure out.
I will say real quick, though, I go back to Scott Perry is an honest man, in my opinion. And I go back to that whole thing of like, would you want to have Russ back?
Yeah.
And he with open arms was like if he wants to come back, we'd love to have him. So I think it's more up to Russ on like, the role would be this, the money would be this. And then if Russ was like, okay, I'm on board, then maybe it would work out.
If I'm the Kings, though, I'm not offering Russ more than much more than the league minimum.
Right.
Because I can't.
No. Well, no.
If you can get more elsewhere, go, my friend, and we appreciate you.
Exactly.
But that's at least where I stand on that. By the way, CBS gave the Alex Caravan pick a B grade at 29. How about The Athletic? The Athletic, including John Hollinger, gives the Kings a B for the Darius Acuff Jr. selection. The conversation with Acuff is a difficult one. Undeniably, he's going to be useful as an NBA player because he's an excellent shot creator with physicality and the handle to separate from opponents. His shooting improved drastically this season, which allowed him to be efficient enough, even despite his propensity for shots from the mid-range. However, Acuff's defense was quite poor, and the impact metrics overall back up the idea that his presence was often extremely harmful on that end of the court. It then goes into talking about him being a smaller ball-dominant guard. Here's what John Hollinger says. I like Flemings better than Acuff, but Acuff has Damian Lillard-esque upside as an offensive player, and the Kings desperately need a guy like this at the controls, one who could potentially be a one-man offense if everything breaks right. I just like his odds of hitting better if he were... If it were any other organization that took him. John Hollinger hates the Kings. He's always hated the Kings.
I was just going to say, the minute that I heard the word defense like 3 times and then small guard, I knew from the jump like that was not going to be a high grade.
Yeah, they just don't trust the Kings, and I get why.
I get it.
By the way, the Atlanta Hawks got an A grade for Kingston Fleming, so they just like Kingston more than
an A.
It's just preference.
Like, come on.
It just comes down to preference. Before we get to more of these grades, we got a couple callers. AC wants to jump into the conversation.
How's the awesome mid-morning team doing today?
Doing great. How about you? How'd you like draft night last night, huh, AC?
I am on top of the world. As Kings Nation would attest, hope springs eternal, my friends.
Got that right.
Heck yeah.
You got that right.
Those grading systems, those teachers should have their credentials checked by the grading system. So somebody, you guys probably remember who said it, but once upon a time someone said Acuff, they compared him to Mike Bibby. You probably remember that, right?
I don't remember who said it, but I remember it.
Someone said it, and once they said that, I was sold. But this is a good Bobby Jackson, Mike Bibby story. So Bibby was the starter. Bobby Jackson came off the bench. Bobby Jackson, better defender, right? Arguably.
Right.
So, but Bibby was the leader. He was the scorer, blah, blah, blah. And Bibby was never known as a defensive guy.
Right.
Never. But guess what? He was the Kings leader. And this guy is going to be a stud and we're going to enjoy watching him play. That's all I got to say.
AC, I love the optimism.
Nice.
I know we got a break. We got Pick a Side coming up next, though, so I want to make sure we get Pool Guy Mark really quick. What up, Pool Guy Mark?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, maybe Carter could be the Bobby Jackson.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, pretty exciting. I mean, what's nice is it was weird. It was kind of a strange draft where it just kind of went as planned.
Right.
There's nobody behind the Kings that I thought, man, I wish they would have done this. It was interesting. They just fell into his laps. I know you guys are excited, as am I. What I liked about the later pick, I watched the Celtics. I mean, I know the Sam Hauser comparisons, and that's a great kind of person to have on your team.
Yeah.
Just that culture that the Boston Celtics has. I mean, when they come into town, it's just a different feel about that whole organization. So I'm excited about that pick. I was kind of curious about the defensive. I thought they might go a different round. I know Cynic was right there before that. I'm curious what they're going to do today. But I like the culture that they're trying to create. It's definitely refreshing. And, I like some of the bigger guards, but they went before the Kings. So I'm not, I'm excited about there's nobody past Acuff that I would want more. And I think the kid's got, incredible upside. So it's a good day in Sacramento.
Pool Guy Mark, appreciate the call. We'll say this. The Kings very clearly felt we got to fix this shooting issue, and they addressed it heavily in last night's draft. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll get to more of the draft grades later on in the show. But coming up next, it's an NBA edition of Pick a Side.
You're welcome.
Wow, Kayla just blessing us with all the NBA account. Don't worry, we'll have a little bit of football. We got Kayla's 2-minute drill coming later in the show. Still so much to get to. It's a fun day here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Acuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. NASCAR legend Michael Waltrip is coming to Echo Park Automotive Sacramento this Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Get there early to meet Michael and celebrate Echo Park's sponsorship of A.J. Allmendinger's number 16 Chevrolet at Sunday's Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway. 10 pairs of race tickets are up for grabs in a live drawing, plus score an autographed A.J. Allmendinger hero card. And while you're there, browse Echo Park's huge inventory. Get the new car feel without the new car price. This Thursday, 2 to 4.
Skeeter here, my card. Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. I never met a Culex terrasalis I didn't want to smack. That's Latin for mosquito. Hey, it's time again to fight the bite. Time to protect yourself from West Nile virus by applying insect repellent. Once a week, drain stagnant water and report dirty green swimming pools. Ew. They're breeding grounds.
The Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite.
My card never gets old.
For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Don't miss out on the biggest action sports event happening in Sacramento this June. Tickets are now live for MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026. See nearly 100 of the world's best skate, BMX, and Moto X athletes compete at Cal Expo June 26th through 28th. Music performances featuring electronic music icon Cascade on Friday, June 26th, and Grammy-winning producer and artist Mustard, and music producer DJ Subtronics on Saturday, June 27th. Score your tickets today at xgames.com.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Exercise and golf have been two important activities in my life. I opened Golf Fitness Solutions in 2013 to help my fellow golf enthusiasts improve their posture, relieve their pain, gain strength and endurance, and most importantly, hit the ball farther. From beginners to professionals, I've had success working with all ages and all skill levels, and I can help you too. Located in Carmichael, call us at 916-802-5175 or go to golffitnesssolutions.com.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
One of my favorite things about draft day are the videos of those who weren't invited to the green room celebrating with their families when they find out who they're picked. Just saw the video of Caravan.
It was
finding
awesome.
out he was getting drafted by the Kings. Well, he was like, I'm being traded to the Kings. Like, what the hell? But he's in a bar somewhere. Good for him.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, I can't remember the player that bet on himself and went to the draft and wasn't invited down on the floor, but was in the stands and betting on himself so that he could have that moment with the commish, putting on the cap. Can't remember who it was, but I thought that was really special too.
That's cool.
And one more thing, the caps, I thought looked really good on camera.
Oh, with the bling?
I was a little bit hesitant yesterday, but on camera they looked really good.
I thought it was very interesting. They had like that living room set to do interviews.
Yeah.
But it was right next to the stage, and it just looked like a random cardboard cutout fake living room in the middle of the Barclays Center. I was like, what are we doing here?
I know.
Anyway, it's time for Pick a Side.
It is. Celtics president of operations, Brad Stevens, came out last night and said that Jaylen Brown remains valued by the organization. Do you feel he is still in Boston next year?
I say no. I think the ship is obviously sailed, and there's significant interest in Brown around the league. It sounds like the Atlanta Hawks are very interested. The Cleveland Cavaliers are very interested. Even the Boston Celtics asking for Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown. That's one of the latest rumors. I think Jaylen Brown is gone. I think he should be gone. The Boston Celtics are very much in we got to get back into the championship conversation. I don't think want to deal with distractions anymore. Plus, I think they can get good value for him. The fact that the Giannis trade has happened now unlocks the rest of the league to actually be the rest of the league, which is where I like a trade like this going down.
Look, he's a heck of a player, but I think like it's time that he just goes somewhere else and helps the team because A, he can do it. B, when things are broke, sometimes they just can't be fixed. And I do believe we've gotten to the point with Boston that between upper management and him and all the other drama, I just think it's too beyond fixing. So he can come out and say, Stevens can, that he's, he's great and all this stuff, which is probably true.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think it's best for both camps to part ways.
I think he's still on the Celtics next season. I think that there's been Jaylen Brown trade talks because of the redundancy with him and Tatum for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like 5 years.
No matter how much it seems like they're done, I think Jaylen Brown is a weird personality, and he's just like, whatever.
He's so smart, by the way. Oh, my gosh.
So I don't see the Celtics getting rid of him for what the trade market might be for him right now.
Yeah.
So I'd expect him to stay. I think that they can build around it and still compete for a championship with Jaylen Brown.
Of course.
It'd be fun to watch.
Done it already.
Morris Johnson Jr., forward at Michigan, goes to the Dallas Mavericks at 9 overall. His coach, Dusty May, who is now the head coach in Dallas, helped navigate the move. Yes or no?
Okay, this was a little awkward moment. Speaking of, I think it was the little room with Lisa Salters doing the interviews, which were really quick, by the way, because of time. But I do believe she pretty much just came out and was like, yeah, so what do you think about your coach, bringing you to Dallas? And it was kind of like laughter or whatever. But I think the fact was, we know that he probably had something to do with some sort of a Michigan player getting there because they've known about this Dallas deal with him as a head coach for a minute now.
Sure.
And we saw these Michigan players go in the first round. but this was clearly the guy he thought would be the best fit there.
Yep.
I do think he probably navigated a little bit of it because, again, they knew Dusty May was going to be the coach before this week.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy how it all worked out like that.
This was the first real surprise of draft night. Dusty May picked his favorite.
He did.
Uh-oh, Yaxel Lendeborg.
Awkward feeling.
Ade Mara, you going to be upset? He picked his favorite. He likes him. He likes...
Which wasn't the
likes Johnson
favorite
Jr.
according
more.
to national media, though.
Right.
That was the interesting part.
Very interesting. I was surprised by the Maverick fan reaction to this. A lot of Mavericks fans were not happy
like
with this
it.
pick because a lot of them I thought had really settled on Braden Burries. Who we heard a lot about Braden Burries in Clutch Sports, wanting him to go to Dallas and basically learn from Kyrie and then take the reins from Kyrie eventually and be the point guard for Cooper Flagg. But the Mavericks decided to go in a different direction. Hell yes, Dusty May was instrumental in this. He coached him at Michigan, then he drafts him right away when no one
But
expected
he
him
was
at that
just
spot.
hired this week, Matt.
Oh, yeah, it was just pure coincidence. Sure.
Yeah, that's
funny.
his pick, for sure.
For sure.
Nate Ament dropped to 13
Yeah.
and headed to the Bucks. Will teams that passed him over regret it?
Look, I was watching him when they kept on panning to him. It's always awkward, by the way.
Oh, of course.
And there was nothing that said he would go top 10. Look, there was nothing that said that. However, there were some things here and there that said maybe Brooklyn. You know, there were some draft, what are they called, boards that predicted him a little bit higher.
Yep.
I do feel like he maybe thought he was going to go a little sooner.
Yep.
I just think it all comes down to how does this young kid develop? Because he's still got room to grow. They said his plates are still, like he still has room to grow in his body. Got to put on some weight. Rick Barnes is a hell of a coach at Tennessee. And I do believe like he helps prepare his guys for the league. But now it's what does Nate Ament do for himself?
Right.
And how does he get to that level? So I don't know.
Where Nate Ament got drafted was going to be so key to how he was going to develop because Nate Ament might be the biggest boomer bust potential in this draft.
Right?
He's just so green, so raw, so unknown. And for the Milwaukee Bucks to get him, I love this for the Bucks, and I especially love it after they got Braden Burries. Right? So they get Braden Burries at 10.
Yeah.
He can run the point. As of right now, Tyler Hero is going to be there, probably going to be there starting too. They picked up a lot of good pieces like a Jaime Hawkins Jr. Khalil Ware, like pieces in that Heat trade, and we'll see how many of them stick around. But bringing Nate Ament in to a situation where you're resetting. You just traded away the best player in the franchise's history, and typically you're not great right after that. It feels like the Bucks are an ideal situation to give him the time and the opportunity that he needs to either boom or bust. So I like this pick a lot for Milwaukee, and if I'm Nate Ament, I actually really like this.
Sure.
I like where I'm going.
In the moment, it's probably hard to maybe not be top 10, but like, I think when it's all said and done, I think he has the mindset to be that way, but he's got some room to grow and some maturing to
Listen,
do.
you're not making as much money as you would have as a rookie if you've gone top 10.
Yeah.
But you have a better opportunity to earn more money the right way on your second contract with the right team, and I think the Bucks should be or are a right team to take that chance.
Yeah, I'm sure someone in the top 10 won't be that great, and I think that Ament will be good. So maybe a team will regret it, but as far as players who dropped really far, Phylon dropped.
Yes. And look, he was crushed, by the way.
Phylon Jr., Cameron Carr.
That's going to be
plummeted.
stuck in his brain throughout his career. I hope
want
he
him to
knows
succeed.
everyone. Yeah. And I'm glad that he's with Maxey, but it is a logjam at guard for them now
Yeah, it is.
in Philadelphia.
Some crazy good depth, though. You got Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, and then you can bring Phylon off the bench for 20 minutes a night. Sounds great to me.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy he got drafted somewhere. Last one. The first 8 picks of the NBA draft pretty much went according to plan.
Yeah.
Do you wish it would have been a little more chaotic?
Yes.
For the viewership?
Look, I'm always about a little chaos.
See, that's what's weird, though.
I'm always, not to the point where it would have been like, this pick is traded to, I wanted at least one in the top 5 that maybe just went a little bit awry.
See, this is the devil and angel on Kayla's shoulder, I can already tell, because the angel is the one that's like, I really, really want Darius Acuff Jr. And the fact that things weren't chaotic is what led to Acuff ultimately being here. But the devil in you is like, I wanted chaos.
Right.
And chaos would have been like, I don't know, Acuff going 5 or Kingston Fleming's going 5 or something.
Or
that could
even
have
like
thrown a wrench.
even like flipping around Booze like we thought. Like maybe
Booze
Booze
too?
going at 2.
That would've been fun.
Or I kind of wanted to see maybe Peterson go to the Bulls.
Yeah, I wanted that
you know,
a lot.
like so just one thing.
Yeah, I get you.
Instead I felt like I was my proper self, which is not usually any time. And I was like, oh, this is going according to plan.
Oh, yes,
Everything is
quite good.
perfect.
Everything as we
and
thought.
I'm sipping my tea with my pinky up.
Jolly good draft, NBA. Jolly good. Yes, Cameron Wilson to the Bulls, as we all predicted.
Right. And it went quick, by the way.
It did.
It went fast,
No,
those first 10.
Another kind of behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
The Kings submitted their pick of Darius Acuff Jr. immediately.
So quick. I saw that.
Like, literally, they're like, Brown, okay, call the league office, Darius Acuff Jr. They locked it in immediately.
They addressed it on the broadcast. They go, oh, okay, well, it looks like the Kings have already made their pick. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, well, yeah.
The Kings pick was in before they announced Michael Brown Jr. to the Nets.
Did you guys get scared when you saw the Nets draft room get
Yes.
really excited?
Yes,
I got
Anthony,
terrified.
I did.
got so scared.
I was like, I think it's Acuff.
Yeah, they looked so excited, and I just
This is going to sound like a flex, and I don't intend it to. I already knew what they did, so I got it.
Right,
but so I'm in the draft.
Yeah.
We're at the draft party, right? And there's about, I'd say 2,000-3,000 fans that were there. By the way, every time they showed Acuff, the fans cheered, which is pretty cool.
I love that.
So Clippers take Wagler, fans start cheering. That exact clip of them reacting, the Brooklyn Nets draft room reacting, you could hear the nerves. You're like, oh no.
I got so scared.
I got scared too. I was like, nothing works out.
Yeah. No,
and then I was like, everything works out.
As soon as Wagler went 5, we basically knew,
Yeah.
which was good. The Kings were very happy. They had good intel the entire time on what they thought the other teams would do. We'll take the break. When we come back, it's lunch break time. Speaking of the Kings, why don't we hear the best bites from Scott Perry's post-draft press conference? Why don't we hear from Darius Acuff Jr., his Zoom call with myself and members of the Sacramento media after the draft? And why don't we hear some of the best clips of Coach Calipari on the morning show this morning with Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross. Reacting to a ton of sound next for lunch break. Plus your phone calls, 916-339-1140. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Like and subscribe to the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube channel at Sactown Sports 1140 to get the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt and Kayla, and the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on demand and at your fingertips. Get your fix of the Sacramento Kings, 49ers, Giants, Athletics, NFL, NBA, and the latest in sports and entertainment all in one place at Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-459-6164 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-459-6164. That's 800-459-6164. What do you have to lose? Call 800-459-6164. Again, 800-459-6164.
Hi. I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust. Along with my partner and associates, I have been helping accident survivors recover for their injuries for over 25 years. And we can help you. There's no charge for calling. So please call us today.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
We would love to hear from you. What you thought of draft night. If you have any questions about how draft night went down, we were all over it here on Sactown Sports. Feel free, call in 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. You can also text that 339-1140 number, or you can get involved in our YouTube chat, which has been popping over the last few days. Shout out to everybody over there. But speaking of hearing from people, why don't we hear the best bits and bites from Scott Perry's post-draft press conference? I was in the room, as was the whole plethora of Sacramento Kings media, eager to hear from Scott Perry about the decisions that he made in landing the guy who's been connected to the Kings forever. That's Darius Acuff Jr. Here is Scott talking about Acuff.
This guy had a tremendous, historic freshman season at Arkansas. I mean, he was the second freshman to be named MVP of the conference, lead the conference in scoring and assisting since Pete Maravich. So I'm old enough to remember Pete Maravich. I don't know if all of you are, but he was a terrific player. And so to be in that kind of company says a lot about what that young man was able to accomplish. He's highly competitive. He's highly skilled. You know, the one thing that stands out about Darius, when he walks into a room, he believes he's going to be the best player in that gym, best player on that floor. He has a very quiet confidence. It's not an arrogance, but a very quiet confidence. So that's very attractive about him.
So sorry, Scott. While you were speaking, it dawned on me, and shout out to 11th North on YouTube for pointing this out, because I completely forgot about this.
Yeah.
We need Kayla's draft fashion ratings.
Yeah.
We got to get to that.
I know. So I don't know how we want to do it.
Let's get through Scott, and then we got to get to that, because I got to know.
Yeah.
Because Kayla came in here swagged out like Darius Acuff. She tried to do her best Darius Acuff outfit, but we got to get Kayla's thoughts on fashion or on all the outfits of draft night. We'll do that after we're done reacting here to the things that Scott Perry had to say. So let's keep on going. Here is Scott Perry talking about Darius Acuff as a competitor.
He is a tremendous competitor, And I watched what he did with that Arkansas team this year. I was fortunate enough to actually watch him a couple of years ago out of USA Basketball when I was not working in the league and I was working at ESPN, and I spoke to a young group that had all the top prospects out there. And just the way he went about his business then at even a younger age, back down for no one, has a lot of skills. He's a player that can score at all three levels. He can get to the basket. He can score in the mid-range. He can obviously shoot the three-point shot very effectively. And he can get teammates involved. He's a very good passer. And so that's what you look for in a point guard. So he exhibited all those skills, so we're very comfortable in showing that.
Okay, Scott, we know all the offensive stuff. We know how much you like him on the offensive side of the floor. But the big question was always the defense. You knew Scott was going to be asked about it, and he didn't shy away from addressing it.
The defensive part, look, I'm a former college coach for 13 years. And when you have a high usage guy like that on offense, you know, sometimes he's not going to always be on the best guys, but he is more than capable of defending. When you get a young man like this who's highly competitive, who wants to be successful, he will figure out how to defend well enough at this level. So I'm pretty confident in that. Most of the guys that are getting drafted at the top of the draft all have to get better defensively. You know, you got to learn this league. So that's something that I'm very comfortable and confident that he will be able to do.
Kayla, my thing on this was, my thoughts on this in real time were, it's okay to acknowledge it exists but not be concerned about it right now. Hopefully we don't get to a point where what we're seeing makes us concerned, but right now, acknowledgement and belief that it will get better naturally is a perfectly fine approach for a GM to have. And that would be the approach you would expect a GM to have if they're drafting the player, right? Yeah. Clearly, Perry felt that this was not that glaring of an issue compared to how some people thought.
I think we look at it from a media perspective, sometimes from a fan perspective, we look at that in a different way from maybe a GM's eyes and how they have to at least give that player, because there is so much upside with the offensive game, have to give that player, they have to trust in that player that they are going to be able to at least make improvements at some level. Yeah. And look, I think even Cal said this morning, Coach Cal said on the morning show, I don't expect Darius to be like this elite defender at the next level. But even he said, this is the next thing on his list that he is going to be tasked with doing. And I think the most important thing with Perry, why he asks all the questions, why it means the most when he sits down and does the workouts with with Darius Acuff Jr., is he has to get that feeling of this is the mentality that the guy is going to work at it to get better. He might not be perfect. As long as he gets that vibe from a player, that's all he can really go off of. Yeah. Because there's so much else to love about Darius Acuff Jr. that checks boxes. Would it have been stupid of him to just be yeah, we're going to pass on him because of the defense, we don't trust that he's going to get better at all? That would have been, I think, tragic if you would have done that. Part of it is trusting the player, right, who's going to put in the work to improve, and part of it is trusting your own talent development to be able to improve that part of their game. Sure. Right, and that's where Doug Christie enters the conversation, right? Long before the Kings drafted Darius Acuff Jr., they made the decision to keep Doug Christie around. Yeah. And the two major reasons they did that, number one, the young guys really, really liked Doug and did a good job working with Doug, and Doug kept them locked in, and we saw clear improvement from those young guys. That was number one. Number two, Scott Perry singled out repeatedly how Doug handled the day-to-day and staying even-keeled, not getting too high and too low, and bringing the same energy every single day, despite the fact that the Sacramento Kings were struggling as much as they were. But we're still looking for, what is Doug Christie's superpower as a head coach? A lot of people think it's as a motivator. Well, that's great. But Doug Christie is also a defensive-minded player. And a former player at that. He's a defensive-minded guy. So at some point, you also have to have faith and trust that the guy who learned and knew how to play defense at a high level, including guarding freaking Kobe Bryant on a nightly basis, will understand how to, at the very least, pass on some of that knowledge and teach and develop and coach a player like Darius Acuff Jr.,
on that side of the ball. You have to have faith in Doug and his ability to improve Darius Acuff Jr. as a defender as long as Acuff is willing to do it. And that's where this answer to my question from Scott Perry about Acuff's willingness and Doug Christie's coaching, I think it's a perfect blend of the two.
Great players or guys who aspire to be great players. Now, obviously, he's been a great player to this point. Now he has to come to the professional ranks and prove himself all over again. But he has a burning desire to want to be the best he can be. He will figure that out. He will be a young man who will accept coaching, will accept criticism. Matter of fact, he embraces that. And I think if you all reach out to Coach John Calipari, he would tell you that about Darius. So yeah, I'm excited to see his relationship grow with Doug and the rest of the coaching staff. He's going to be, I have no doubts that Darius will embrace that. And will he have bumps along the way? Absolutely. You can't point to a rookie that's ever played in this league that didn't have tough patches, tough stretches, and have some nights that things didn't go their way or they struggled. But what you look for is resilient personalities, and I believe he has that.
You like that?
Well, yeah, and that's why for me it's not always, like I said yesterday, like, you know, the numbers and everything. Like, those all matter.
Sure.
And the play absolutely matters, but the play and the character and the mindset have to all come together to make an extraordinary player. And I don't know, you know, we all kind of had favorites in this draft, and that's cool. I think that's the fun part of any type of draft.
It's the best part of it.
You pick your guy, and you like to stick with that guy from the jump. And Perry obviously kind of identified his guy early on in this process, and I think the more and more we hear Scott talk, it's the mind with the, you know, ability to have the confidence and to, even when he's lacking or he makes a mistake, he can kind of push that aside. And then obviously the offensive upside is incredible. And so it is hard to pass on a guy like that, but I think that it's going to be a really good thing here. And Scott, I think what I've loved about Scott is he's kind of just been honest about everything that we at least know from him. That's a big plus too, that coming in as a rookie, you kind of know this guy. You kind of trust him from the get-go.
Right.
That he's going to set you up for the most success, and hopefully that is what happens.
Well, in addition to Darius Acuff Jr., the Kings also went out, traded back into the first round at 29 to get Alex Caravan from UConn. Here's Scott Perry talking about that selection.
We also were able to acquire the rights in the trade with Cleveland to get Alex Caravan from University of Connecticut. He embodies what we're trying to establish here as a winning culture. Here's a young man, was a 4-year starter at UConn, played in the national championship game 3 times, won 2 national championships, excellent shooter, high IQ player, very good connector on the court. And as we all know in today's game, you can't have enough shooting. So he adds that to us, but there's a toughness to him. There's a team spirit. And Alex, along with Darius, both embraced being here, wanted to be a part of what we're building here with the Kings. And so that really added something very, extra for us in deciding to select both of these young guys.
There you go.
The one thing that sticks out with me there is, again, I think this is a little bit of an interesting draft that everything kind of went according to plan, at least the top picks. Like they both wanted to be here. And that doesn't always happen like that, where we know that these players are really happy to go to Sacramento. Maybe not the largest market, maybe not getting all eyes on them all the time. In honesty, getting a lot of butted jokes, and for me,
low-hanging fruit.
But I think they're building something here that is really cool because most of the players that are coming here, they automatically take that underdog, mentality of how people think about Sacramento. And they're like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're going to help build this thing. I think all of them are really appreciative of being here and are going to embrace Sacramento in the best way. And you cannot say that about players are particular
Yeah.
in those types of things, especially those top draft picks.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this right now. Scott Perry doesn't give a damn about what's happened here before. He
Right.
doesn't care about the past. Now, he inherited a mess, but
Right.
he's not there bitching and moaning and crying and complaining about the mess that he
Nope.
inherited. He does not care that Sacramento's never been a free agency destination. He's going to work hard to establish connections to change that, to work on relationships, personalities. He doesn't care about the jokes. He doesn't care about the low-hanging fruit. Scott Perry is not just here to turn the Sacramento Kings into a winning basketball team. Scott Perry is here to change how Sacramento is looked at in the league and to turn this organization as a whole into a winner in the eyes and the mind of the rest of the league. Now, that's a steep hill to climb.
Yep.
And time will tell if he's able to actually pull that off. But that's what Scott Perry is about. And Scott's made that very clear to me very early on. Scott's even told me a couple times, Matt, you got to move on, man. You got to stop worrying about the past so much. I'm like, I'm trying, Scott. I've been here for 20 damn years.
Right.
It's hard. Been here my entire life. I got one freaking playoff year.
Right.
Got the beam team, damn it. I want more.
It's hard for a lot of fans. I get that.
But I love how Scott and BJ Armstrong approached the draft last night and are approaching this draft too. Before we get to Darius Acuff Jr. and what he said afterwards, all right, let's pay this off.
Yeah.
Kayla Anderson, fashion police over here.
Fashion police.
What did you like, not like about the fits last night?
So first of all, I thought for the most part, the NBA draft is a little different. They do kind of go and they're a little bit more they take risks. I do like the fact that the NBA, this class, was very sophisticated. I thought that in the color choices, a lot of them wore the black or the navy. We saw a little bit of that maroon or that crimson, like Kingston Fleming's.
There wasn't a lot of bright risk.
There was not a lot of brisk, right? Which is totally fine. I thought again, the very like sophisticated look with minimal accessories was actually cool. And I appreciate that as well. So let me start off first and foremost with Darius Acuff Jr. Look, I'm not going to ever say that he didn't look the part. In all honesty, I didn't even know the suit was like Louis Vuitton until I looked close. But I loved the fact that he kept it like a navy? It looked like it was like a navy, which I love navy.
Had the red glasses on.
And he had the red glasses, like the tint. That was the little pop of color.
Yep.
And then you represented with the necklace.
Yep.
With the bling of the necklace and the watch. I didn't think he overdid it. I think he had the hair back. He had the hair. I thought it looked spot on.
He looked clean.
Because he is a little bit, like you said, he's boss mentality. So to have a little bling, I thought it worked really well. He looked great. So he got an A for me, and why would I give him anything else? He's a Sacramento King. So the other look that I liked was a little bit of you're taking a little bit of a risk here wearing all white, but I like the fact that Cameron Boozer was confident enough to do the LeBron James all white look for this draft, and there's nothing better than confidence. And that young man, I'm happy for him, and I hope he does big things in Memphis. But to take that risk, there's always a risk, but I loved it, and I thought it looked really, really good.
I would be terrified wearing anything all white. I'd be like,
well,
I'm
I'd
gonna
spill stuff on it.
I'm somehow going to trip onto like a ketchup packet just walking to my seat or something like that. But good on him. He pulled it off. I love the all white. I think he looked clean.
I have given a lot of heat to Darren Peterson. And look, I don't take any of that back.
Yep.
There was a lot of stuff going on with Darren Peterson. Hope the young man has a phenomenal career. Looked dapper last night.
The swag.
Looked dapper. Again, I like clean, crisp sometimes. I believe his suit was like a dark navy too, which I love a navy. I almost like it better than just all the black. He had the pocket, the little pocket square.
Yeah.
And it was the white pocket square, clean look, a little bit of accessory with the watch and the earrings. I thought that was fantastic. And then the one that I thought was really creative was Morez, the kid from Spain.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he opened up his jacket and he had all the Mexican, he had, the heritage and all the cool stuff. And I believe, he was the Mexican kid. Yeah.
Yes.
And he got drafted, and I think he's like the first in the top, like so many. I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really cool homage and everything.
Kareem Lopez?
Kareem Lopez,
Yeah.
yes.
Went to Detroit at 21.
He went to
Although it was traded to Memphis, so he went to Memphis.
Yeah, but I thought that was a really cool look where he opened it up and had all the stitching inside of it.
Did anybody have a fit that you were like, leave
okay,
that at home?
I don't.
Leave that in the closet.
Y'all, don't get mad at me. I like the little bit of color, right, in terms of the suits. My man Kingston.
You didn't like Kingston's?
I didn't.
No.
I thought the pinstripe on the crimson was a little too much. It was a little too much for me to. Yeah, it didn't do it for me.
See, he gave me like very mafia boss vibes.
I
liked it.
I liked it too.
I would have liked it more on a black suit with the pinstripes.
I'm going to the Hawks, see?
Yeah, but I love Kingston, man.
I didn't
love
like
that guy.
Wogglers. Did you guys see Wogglers?
Yeah, he's
Wogler's fit was weird. Did you see everybody's
This is Wogglers. It's like very pale. It's like pale blue.
Yeah.
Pale pink. It screamed like not like I'm a boss.
It looked like you like the color and the lighting is wrong with the photos that you took. I
liked Caleb's too. It was simple.
Yeah, Caleb was
But
very simple.
Caleb looked really good.
This isn't a fit so much as you see what Nate Ament is getting clowned for.
No.
Nate Ament does like the Dwayne The Rock Johnson people's eyebrow thing. So like he did it before when he was getting his photo, like the slow motion videos that they do of like the players are juggling the basketball and they do it to like cut to their highlight reel or whatever. He like raised his eyebrow in that.
He
and
did?
He was getting clowned for it on the internet. And then when they called them all out, like to introduce them on the stage, he did it when the camera panned back and he put his like eyebrow up. I was like, oh no.
That's funny.
So he's not getting clowned for his fit, but he's getting clowned for like the eyebrow thing or whatever.
Sometimes you can't help it. I have one eyebrow, guys, that is dominant of the other. And so sometimes like when
I think it was very intentional. Was it Nate Ament or was it Keaton Wogler that did that? Okay, now
I didn't know.
Now I'm panicking.
I didn't know Nate Ament had that trick up his sleeve.
I didn't see either.
I'm looking up Nate Ament eyebrow. I'm sure this will go well. Hold on. It was all over the... Yes, it is Nate Ament hitting the eye. Hold on.
That's hilarious.
Hold on. It's going to be...
The draft day talk that we have sometimes.
This guy. Nate Ament eyebrow. And he did this like multiple times. I don't know. Sorry, radio audience. Like think like a weird nerdy version of Dwayne The Rock Johnson lifting his eyebrow up that when he was
He
in
looks
WWE.
like the guy from Despicable Me. Like the first one.
Gru?
No, the bad guy.
Oh.
I don't remember his name.
That's impressive to get your eyebrow that high.
Yeah, he's doing like that
Holy
eyebrow
smokes.
thing. He got clowned for that. Not his fit. Just his eyebrow thing.
So the draft again is for tonight. It's still like in New York. Like it's still.
I guess
they're
so.
doing their-
I guess it's
'cause
still
this
in
is
the
what it looks
Barclays
like.
Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is good because I think the first year they did the draft on day 2, they ended up having day 2 like awkwardly in like the ESPN studios in Atlanta or something. So it was like shoved into like a side room. I don't know. I'm glad they just keep it at the Barclays Center. Just keep it there. All right, let's hear from the newest Sacramento King. Now, Darius Acuff Jr., I'll tell you right now, Darius Acuff Jr. is a man that likes his, or lets his game do the talking. He's not the most charismatic of players, and his answers are quick. So don't expect Kingston Fleming's level.
right now. They'll
for
probably
now,
get better.
He's going to have nice, quick post-game press conferences. I can tell you that right now, win or loss. But we still got the opportunity to talk to him. He was very nice. He was very cool. Here is Darius Acuff Jr. Let it be known, Scott Perry's my guy.
Yeah, very excited for the opportunity. And yeah, I spoke to Scott. That's my guy. So we knew what it was already and just decided to get it going for sure.
We knew what it was already. Yeah, it's funny because Jake Gayden asked on Monday, Jake asked Darius about Scott and his dad and asked Darius about his workout in Sacramento, and Darius Acuff very much played it off like, yeah, no, that's cool, but I'll be happy with wherever I'm drafted. Like he knew what he was supposed to do. Now he's drafted by the Kings. Like, yeah, Scott Perry's my guy. We already knew what it was. So I smiled when I heard that, when I heard him say that.
Yeah, I love it. And I know that somebody had asked like, when he came and worked out, and he was like, I believe it was like my last workout.
Yep.
And then he adds in, he's funny. He's a man of little words,
Yep.
but he says funny things that are like, he's like, we'll save the best for last.
No, yeah, he made himself laugh.
He's got a little bit of a jokester. I think you just got to get to know him better.
This was the answer. That was his answer to my question. I asked him about his pre-draft workout in Sacramento, and here's what he said.
It was a great workout. That might have been my last workout. So say the best for last, I guess. But it was a great workout, meeting with all of them. I got a great relationship with all of them, so just definitely excited.
Now, Sean Cunningham from KCRA3 asked him about like the rumors that we'd heard for a while that like he wanted to be here and his camp wanted him to be here. And Acuff, again, did not shy away from, this is exactly where I wanted to be. But there's a little thing he snuck in here too, which made us all laugh. Here you go.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to be here for sure. I don't know where they got that from, but I definitely say I wanted to be a King for sure. Like I said, any team I got drafted to, I would have been fine. But this is definitely my best destination. I'm excited to be here. It's just a relationship that's been going on for a while now. This is the best thing for me.
Check your camp, Acuff. We all freaking knew it.
He's so funny.
We've known this since the combine. You wanted to be here. Your camp wanted you to be here. You got leaks. But we're glad you did because it was fun.
Yeah. It must be nice to kind of knowing what to expect, come draft night.
Sure. Absolutely.
So calms the nerves a little.
Real quick before we go to break, here is Darius Acuff Jr. on who he's most excited to play with on the Kings.
Yeah, I'm probably excited to play with Sabonis, probably. I just know he's a great player. He can do a lot of things on the court, but I'm excited to play with the whole team for sure, get there and build a relationship with them.
Love it.
Well, I don't think Sabonis is going anywhere. Although, again, the responses that I got on social media when we put that out, and was like, how do we tell him?
Yeah, no, it was funny.
My favorite response I got, someone responded and goes, oh, my sweet prince. I have something to tell you. It's like, uh-oh.
Hey, maybe you got at least this next year with him.
I think I don't think Domas is going anywhere for next season. I think he's going to be here. Finally, Acuff, he's talked about it before. He knows he has to improve on the defense. He said, I'm ready to show I can defend.
Yeah, I'm just ready to go out there and defend and just, play against everybody and just show I can defend. And I'm excited for the opportunity. It's just a dream come true, and I'm ready for it.
He doesn't want to talk. He wants to work. And we'll see that work starting in the California Classic in 10 days.
Holy smokes, man.
We're going to have Kings basketball in the Golden One Center in 10
Happy 4th of July
days. We'll take the break. When we come back, we've been all over this Darius Acuff stuff from the beginning, since March. One particular night in March when a certain head coach caught Kayla Anderson's attention. That's where the Darius Acuff Jr. conversation really started in this city. We'll talk about that next. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
The Kings landed Darius Acuff Jr. at number 7. But that wasn't enough. Just before the end of the first round, Scott Perry moved back up to select UConn forward Alex Caravan as the winningest player in UConn basketball history. Will Caravan's shooting ability and championship pedigree help build a new winning culture in Sacramento?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson. Plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
NASCAR legend Michael Waltrip is coming to Echo Park Automotive Sacramento this Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Get there early to meet Michael and celebrate Echo Park's sponsorship of A.J. Allmendinger's number 16 Chevrolet at Sunday's Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway. 10 pairs of race tickets are up for grabs in a live drawing, plus score an autographed A.J. Allmendinger hero card. And while you're there, browse Echo Park's huge inventory. Get the new car feel without the new car price. This Thursday, 2 to 4.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Gas prices got you down? Now is the time to save at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. When you save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab. With over 600 Rams available, your new Ram is waiting at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after factory incentive and dealer discounts. Incentives include $500 on-the-job upfit for eligible upfit, 1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance on eligible trade-in, 500 Hoblet business owner bonus for verified business owners, and 9,500 dealer discount. 10th net savings. See dealer for details.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder, thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Remember the days of real country music? Now you can get your favorite classic country every day on 105.1 HD3 The Ranch. Listen to The Ranch on the free KNCI app or anytime at 105.1 HD3.
Are you looking for a night out that actually delivers? Grab your friends and head to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. We've got cold drinks, great vibes, and live baseball all in one place. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
In celebration of 80 years of 49ers football, Sactown Sports is counting down 80 of the most memorable moments that have shaped the team's storied legacy and winning tradition. Here's today's faithful flashback.
Number 54, overwhelming Oakland. The first division title.
The San Francisco 49ers clinched their first ever division title by defeating the Oakland Raiders 38-7 in the 1970 regular season finale. The game was played in rainy conditions at the Coliseum, and with the Rams winning earlier in the day, San Francisco had to win. Led by NFL MVP John Brody and his 3 touchdowns, the 38-7 victory allowed the 49ers to secure their first divisional championship following the NFL-AFL merger.
Faithful flashbacks on Sactown Sports 1140.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
March 4th. That was the night that Darius Acuff Jr. really appeared on the radar of my co-host Kayla Anderson. It wasn't just how he played when he scored 28 points, shot 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range, 13 assists and 3 steals in a beatdown of the Texas Longhorns by Darius Acuff Jr. and the Arkansas Razorbacks. It was what Texas head coach Sean Miller had to say about Acuff after that game.
You know, I'm just going to make one statement here. Usually a guy like Acuff gets, too much credit or too much respect as a young player in college basketball. You know, that can happen sometimes when a guy is that highly touted and certainly has this bright future beyond college like he does. But in my time, and I'll just go 34 years, I've never seen a point guard better. And when people talk about, who's going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft or who's the best player in the conference, I mean, just for a perspective, and I think our conference is great, he averages 25 points a game. I'll just start right there. He shoots 40% from the three-point line. He leads our league in assists. I think he's the first player since Pete Maravich who's led our league in both points and assists. If you look at Arkansas as a team, the best thing they do is they never turn the ball over, and that's because he has the ball in his hands 80% of the time. His assist-to-turnover ratio is astonishing, and not until you actually are in the game and you feel his presence. You know, the adage of a point guard makes the game easier for his teammates. He's a textbook prime example of that. I just have never been on a court where one player at that position is any better than he is. You know, greatness is how I would describe his game, and seems like an amazing young man. And, you know, just to watch, I bring it up because this is game 30. He's got several weeks or a month or so left. But guys like him, they just don't come into college basketball very, very often. I mean, he's a generational player. He's really, really good. And this number one pick thing, like, I don't know why people aren't talking about him more. I can't imagine anybody better.
So that is University of Texas head coach Sean Miller talking about Darius Acuff Jr. after Acuff and Arkansas beat Texas's ass in a game on March 4th. And for my money, the next day, March 5th, when Kayla Anderson brought this to the table and we talked about this on the show, that was the day that the Acuff conversation in Sacramento, in my opinion, really began.
So the reason why this caught my eye, because covering the SEC for 8 years, I followed still like some of what was going on down there, right? Hoops wise, it's all over my timeline still. But when I saw that come across my timeline, the reason why it stood out to me, you guys, it wasn't just a clip from a coach. I covered Sean Miller for 3 years at Arizona. He is one of the tougher coaches that I covered, not because he was a jerk or anything, but like he does not say things about his own players, let alone players on other teams, unless he feels the need to do it because of the pure basketball perspective of things. And so for him to go out of his way in that press conference, was not asked about that.
Yeah.
He went out of his way to add that side note, to go on and explain why, and then to also add in the point that it's just different when you're there watching him as a coach even. That to me was like, wait a second. I got to go start really looking into this Acuff fella.
Yeah.
Because what Sean said there just completely like put something in me like, this is something we got to look at. And then we kind of just started to push it from there.
What stood out to me about that clip from Coach Miller, it's 3 minutes of him hyping up his competitor that again just beat him. But it's not a coach talking about a competitor.
No.
It's a basketball fan talking about something that excited him.
Yep.
Like that is how that translates. That is just a hoop
Hands down.
a man that has dedicated his life to hoops, that saw and recognized something special in Acuff that he felt the world needed to know about, even if it's coming from the mouth of the competition.
Yeah. It's a great point.
That certainly put him on your radar. And I mean, it's picked up steam since. Now, I don't know. I have no clue when the day was that. I mean, obviously Scott Perry has known Darius Acuff Jr. for a while because of his dad, and Scott shared in his press conference how he remembers watching Darius Acuff Jr. when he was playing for Team USA before he was even in college and stuff like that. So I'm sure the Kings have had Darius Acuff Jr., or at least Scott Perry's had his eye on Darius Acuff Jr. for a long while. I do wonder though, if there was a moment during this college basketball season,
me too,
that he had that, like he really arrived, where it's just like, man, he's that dude.
Yeah.
And because Coach Calipari, he didn't talk about this on the morning show. Well, he might have talked about this a little bit on the morning show this morning, but he appeared with Colin Cowherd recently, and he talked about the 49-point. No, he did talk about this morning too.
Yeah, he
did.
The
49-point performance in a loss, I think, to Alabama.
Yeah.
Where he was playing on a hurt foot, and Coach Cal said, "Hey, take the next game off, rest up." And Acuff said,
this is hilarious. He was in his office with the boot.
He's like, "We lost though.
Yeah.
I got to keep," and he kept playing.
Yeah.
So like, I wonder, like, maybe that was because if Calipari's bringing up that moment, that's obviously not the moment he realized Acuff was special. He knew before that, or he wouldn't have recruited him. But that's the moment that he talks about how he learned a little extra about the competitive fire of Darius Acuff Jr. I just wonder what that moment is for Scott or for BJ Armstrong.
Did anyone ask Scott anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Might be a good follow-up.
Yeah.
When the Kings will be doing another press conference with these, introducing all of their new rookies in Sacramento. I would guess either the end of this week or next week. We'll see. But might be an interesting question to ask him if we get the chance there. But clearly, Acuff has left an impression on a lot of people. And that, like, it's one thing to hear Calipari talk about him because everyone, Calipari's, of course, he's going to hype up these guys. Calipari is a bona fide agent as a coach.
But he's got a good track record.
You got Sean Miller, who has nothing to do with Acuff,
Yep.
spending 3 minutes of a post-game press conference to hype him up.
Yeah, that stood out to me because he had no connection to Acuff. He did not have to say anything. Oh, by the way, Acuff just smoked his team.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, by the way, I got to say this about this young man.
105-85 was the final score of that game, by the way.
I remember.
Acuff played 36 of 40 minutes, even in the blowout. 28 points, 13 assists, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range, 8 of 10 from the foul line.
Oh, by the way.
Also had 3 steals.
You remember...
No, he didn't have any steals. I'm sorry.
It was a Texas team that actually, by no surprise, what'd they do in the tournament? Oh, yeah, shocked everyone and made it so deep as a fringe team.
Made a big run. Joey, I see you on hold. If you don't mind hanging with us until 1 o'clock, we would love to hear from you. But coming up next, we got to take a little bit of a break. It's football time. Kayla's 2-minute drill. Some of the other stories happening in the NFL today. Joey, stick with us or call back at 1 o'clock. We would love to hear from you. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
The Kings landed Darius Acuff Jr. at number 7. But that wasn't enough. Just before the end of the first round, Scott Perry moved back up to select UConn forward Alex Caravan as the winningest player in UConn basketball history. Will Caravan's shooting ability and championship pedigree help build a new winning culture in Sacramento?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause 30 told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
The stars align in West Sacramento as the A's go head-to-head with the Los Angeles Dodgers for a spectacular summer series starting Monday, June 29th. Celebrate the start of the holiday week with an action-packed series. Be there to witness one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the season. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
Buy gold and put some silver in your pocket. I know what you're thinking. Everything's expensive right now. How am I going to buy gold? It's Ron Paul. Nowadays, a lot of things are out of your control, but there is something you can do right now to diversify your retirement, and it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket. My friends at Birch Gold Group will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, a time-tested hedge against inflation. Plus, in honor of America 250, Birch Gold is going to give you a special America 250 1-ounce silver round for every $10,000 you purchase by July 2nd. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898 to get a free info kit from Birch Gold and claim eligibility for this limited time offer. Again, text the word SECURE to 989898 today.
Today on the pod, we're talking to Joan, a method actor and scratchers enthusiast. So, Joan, what do you like about playing Scratchers?
Well, as a method actor, it's about becoming the ticket. Scratching up, down, stage left, stage right.
So what's your motivation? Because your performance feels so real.
Oh, I was just tapping into my inner Scratchers.
Incredible.
Yes. Bravo me.
Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a hospitality manager at a 5-star hotel.
So I just checked into room 318, but someone was in there.
Room 318. Oh, you were supposed to be booked in 813, which is now booked.
So what do we do?
How about rock, paper, scissors for who gets the bed?
This is your job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026 is taking on Cal Expo this summer. Catch live music performances and more than 100 top skate, BMX, and Moto X athletes compete. June 26th through June 28th. Get your tickets now at xgames.com.
It's time for the 2-minute drill. Kayla Anderson has the ball, and she's taking us around the world of football. It's Kayla's 2-minute drill on Matt and Kayla.
So here's what's going to happen. NBA is doing their draft, right? Then we're going to have the blitz of the California Classic and Summer League. And then the NBA is going to go into hibernation, with the exception of free agency a little bit. That's about the time the NFL training camps, are really going to get going. Right now, it's a little bit of NFL hibernation time, but there's still some things going on, right, Kayla?
There is, and don't worry. It's a 2-minute drill for a reason. We'll get back to NBA draft coverage in just a second, but we're going to go to a quick 2-minute drill break here. And let's start with this. Opposite of the pits, because it really isn't the pits. It's a good thing. Falcons star tight end Kyle Pitts just agreed to a 3-year, $54 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons. This per his agency, Athletes First. The contract including $36 million, fully guaranteed there. And so you're looking at where does he sit now with some of these other great tight ends in the league. By the way, tight end university going on right now. So talking about giving love at the right time, this isn't the only tight end deal I'm going to announce. So I think it's pretty interesting too. It came in the week of when all these tight ends get together, and their sole reason for it is to get as much value for tight ends as they can. You know, they want to get paid.
Yep.
So the $18 million annual average of Pitt's deal is the third highest for a tight end behind, who do you think number one is, guys? Don't think too hard.
Is it George?
Yeah, George Kittle.
George Kittle's number one?
This is annual average.
Okay, I was like...
Kittle at 19.1. And, of course, the great Trey McBride of the Cardinals, he's at $19 million. So... great thing for him. Again, the Falcons trying to just figure out who the heck they are.
What is Travis
forward.
Kelce at? Just curious.
I'm not sure. It's not on here.
That surprises he's in the top 3.
Oh, wait. No, it's not. It's got yards on here, but no. That's per. Huh. Again, this is
just annual
average annual value.
Got you. So it doesn't mean it's the highest paid contract, it's just their annual value.
Exactly.
Got it.
So yeah, Atlanta's interesting. I guess the biggest question for me, guys, is well, who's throwing to you? Is it Tua Tagovailoa? Is it Michael Penix Jr.? And we're assuming he's going to stay healthy. I still think that is the question for Atlanta: is who the hell is your quarterback for the future? I don't know.
No one knows the answer to that question, but at least it's better than the Arizona Cardinals situation.
That's very true. They don't know who the heck that is. All right. It ain't strange. So another one. It's not strange at all because Jaguars' Brenton Strange agreed to a 3-year deal up to $48 million. He is also a tight end. Congrats to the tight ends this week getting paid.
Tight ends getting paid.
That's right. 3-year extension. Like I said, we're up to $48 million, including $25 million guaranteed. Strange still young. He's 25, but he set career best this past season in catches with 46, receiving yards 540, TDs 3 in just 12 games. And he was a second-round pick in 2023. I love all these stories, too, where these tight ends, maybe not first-round picks or anything, but work at kind of earning that contract. And he's definitely one of those guys that have done it. Not the biggest household name, but he's getting paid regardless the team that drafted him.
Right. Something that I learned this morning from the John Calipari interview was that he keeps track of how much money it's surpassed $6 billion.
I couldn't believe that
his players have gotten. Tight end U needs to do the same thing.
I think so too.
They need to start putting on
this.
how much money tight ends who went through tight end U are getting paid.
I'm working on going down there for a joint practice this year, and I am going to straight up ask Kittle. I think this is something you need to put on the walls at Tight End University every year.
Just a running tally of how many tight ends.
It's a great idea.
That'd be sick.
He'd love that too.
Of
He'd be
course
like
he
all
would.
about it.
Because it has to be. I'd be very interested in a case study of when tight end U started versus, and of course inflation, everybody's getting paid more, but tight end specifically, how much more they're getting.
Because that's the point of why they started this. They wanted their tight ends to be valued more, and they've really done a good job at that. Bills great in recovery. So this is a story. I just feel like Jim Kelly is just one of those guys that, he's just in Buffalo, like bigger than, larger than life. And he's dealt with a lot of health battles in his career, especially in these later years. Obviously, the great retired quarterback, Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback, Jim Kelly, he suffered a stroke on Tuesday, but said that he has recovered. He's feeling great. He was at the actual ribbon cutting ceremony.
Oh, sweet.
The other day when I said that they officially opened up Highmark Stadium.
Awesome.
So good to hear, because again, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this man, and he's gone through so much, and he's such a Bills great. If anything, I'd like them to win for him in his,
of course,
while he's here, because he's just done so much for the organization.
Man, we needed a successful recovery story with other stories that we've gotten so far this year. We needed a successful recovery story, so love that. I'm glad Jim was there too for the ribbon cutting, because that's a historic. Yeah. That's I remember how much it felt like we're growing up as a city and organization when the Golden One Center was open.
I bet.
That's a massive level up for the city of Buffalo and the Bills organization, because they've always kind of been, look at this kind of little brother up here up north in New York.
Now they're like, look at his mansion.
Look at this shiny ass stadium we got.
Well, the good thing is that's your 2-minute drill, and I am so about the people today that we can even get to the call. We have plenty of time.
See, Kayla scored with 30 seconds left on the clock and is now handing it back over to the defense. Look at that. Joey, welcome into the show. Joey, how did you like the draft last night?
Okay, 2 things. And happy hump day, both of you guys. So, 2 things. I was impressed by the way all these young men were dressed.
Mm-hmm.
They were dressed.
What just happened?
Nothing.
Was that you laying on the horn, Joey, or was that someone coming after you?
I thought we just heard a car accident on air.
No, it was a car in front of some guy cut the other guy off.
Oh.
Oh goodness. Okay, so you thought that they looked really dapper. Okay.
Yes, but the reason why I called was, did anybody feel awkward watching the little interview that they had after Acuff?
Yes.
I was like, what the hell just happened?
So can I tell you what I think it was? Because I actually love Lisa. I think she's really professional and clearly does 18 different jobs at ESPN. I think it's they were giving her time limits, and it was such a short time that she had to ask questions. It just felt a little forced with everyone, and then some people holding the mics never got asked a question. They were being told to go to break. So I think if they're going to do that again, there needs to be an allotted time that she can feel comfortable doing that.
Hey, Kayla, I instantly thought, I was like, oh, there's the NBA not liking the Kings again.
Yeah, right? They were like, go to break.
You got drafted by the Kings? We're out of time.
I
Sorry.
know. I was like, come on, man. And then it kind of made them look bad, but it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah. It looked like Acuff got mad. Kind of.
Honestly,
So,
I think
anyway.
knowing how little shout out, thanks for the call. You know how little Acuff likes to talk. I'm sure he was like, "Get me the hell out of here." I think his parents look like they're the same way too. It's like just get us out of this weird ass living room set.
No parent knew how to hold the mic,
Hold the mic.
and
They
nobody
didn't.
told them. That was the part. Like the first one was when Darren had to be like, "Hold the mic, Dad."
hold the
Like
mic.
you gotta hold the mic.
Do you want to know the most awkward one, though, guys? Go back and watch Mikael Brown Jr.
I didn't see
He
it.
sat there with his mom and dad, and his dad, I don't know what it was when his dad started talking. The mom and Mikael just like kind of like checked out, and it was almost like whatever you're saying is bull. Because like he kind of went on this little thing about being a dad and how you have to stop being selfish. And I'm like, is there beef in the household?
Oh, did he
like,
make it? He made it about him?
It was so weird. And I was
do
like,
remember that.
I was like, this is awkward. Please check out of the interview, Lisa.
Mikael Brown Sr. made it about him?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hell yeah, Dad.
It wasn't super bad, but you can tell that they were kind of like.
I made it.
Stop
I mean,
talking.
my
was
son
like,
made it.
Did mom and dad have a little bit of a tiff before this? Because it just didn't seem like things were all happy-go-lucky. Like, it was just funny.
We need more LeVar Balls. Hell yeah. Take the credit on yourself. I'm
Oh,
the
my
senior.
goodness.
He's the junior. I got him here.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, but I agree with you. I think the interviews were a little bit awkward because of the time constraints.
That reminds me, one of my, I want to say it was Rashawn Holmes had a press conference one time or something, because Rashawn Holmes' parents became beloved here in Sacramento.
Mhm.
Dr. Holmes was his mom, and they would post "I win" video, like we won
That's
every
funny.
time the Kings would win, and
That's great.
they became like the Sacramento parents. Everybody loved them.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure it was her that at one point, like we were talking. No, yes, it was, because it was an interview in here. The Holmes family came into Sactown Sports, and I think Dr. Holmes, Rashawn's mom, asked Rashawn, like, who taught you how to block those shots? And then Rashawn was like, my dad or something. I can't remember what he said, my coach or something. She goes, no, it was me. It's like, hell yeah, Mom.
Give me the credit. Come on.
Parents need to
Come
take
on
more
now.
credit for their kids' accomplishments. I love that. There's that AAU and youth baseball mentality.
AAU to the T, baby.
Oh, love that. Love when you're out at a T-ball game and parents are talking to their kids like they're going to the league. Love that. Need more of that.
We got a question real quick before we go to break. Matt and Kayla, what do the Kings need to do now after the draft?
Win.
We've got a lot of time to talk about
Yeah,
that.
we got plenty. They have a lot of work to do. Well, the draft ain't over. Got
Nope.
the second round today, plus undrafted free agents and beyond. We'll see what Scott Perry cooks up today, and we'll take the break. When we come back to start the final hour of the show, again, we'll go through everything that happened last night in round one, all the details that I can share with you, what it was like inside the Golden One Center. We would love to hear from you, too, your thoughts on the Sacramento Kings night one of the draft, if there's any targets you have in mind for night two tonight, and what you would like to see coming up next. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Acuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice,
Don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
NASCAR legend Michael Waltrip is coming to Echo Park Automotive Sacramento this Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Get there early to meet Michael and celebrate Echo Park's sponsorship of A.J. Allmendinger's number 16 Chevrolet at Sunday's Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway. 10 pairs of race tickets are up for grabs in a live drawing, plus score an autographed A.J. Allmendinger hero card. And while you're there, browse Echo Park's huge inventory. Get the new car feel without the new car price. This Thursday, 2 to 4.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell us what's happening for Chrysler's Make This the Summer event.
Kick summer off right when you save up to $9,500 off MSRP on new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Altitudes. You won't find a better looking, more powerful, and comfortable Jeep on the road. There's nothing like moving the family around in luxury.
Yeah, those Jeeps look real nice inside and out.
It's beautiful, but Hoblet is more than Jeeps. Stop by the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter to find whatever you need. With nearly 200 vehicles available and 115 under $30,000, Hoblet needs to be your first stop.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$9,500 toll net savings on select new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Altitude after $5,500 factory incentive and $4,000 dealer discount. Incentives include $1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance with eligible trade-in and $2,000 Make This the Summer event retail cash. 3 of this net savings. Sample VIN 243062. See dealer for details.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
It was really fun being back in the Golden One Center last night. Every time I'm weird like this though, and we are going to have basketball in the Golden One Center in 10 days, July 4th, the California Classic. Michael Brown Jr. and the Nets versus Darius Acuff Jr. and the Sacramento Kings. Pick 6 versus pick 7, right out the gate to start the California Classic. Also, the Bucks will be here with Braden Burries and Nate Ament.
There we go.
Now, the Warriors will be here too, but the Warriors are also doing
team.
a California Classic at their building, so I don't think like Yaxel Lendeborg is going to be here. But who cares about them? But it was very fun being in the Golden One Center. I'm one of those people, though, Kayla, that and I think we talked about this before. When I'm in an arena, and it's not for the purpose of that sport, I get super impatient.
Yeah.
Like I hate going by an empty like football stadium because I just want to be in there when it's a football game.
Sure.
I hate an NBA arena in the middle of summer when there's nothing going on in there.
I get that.
But at least there was a draft party. At least it was basketball related. They had the Kings court out there. It was a really fun event that the Kings put on.
I'm glad they did it, and it was awesome to see all the videos coming from everyone, and obviously the reaction to Acuff being drafted was extremely positive. So all of that is really cool to see. And it is kind of it's definitely summer now. It's officially summer, and it's going to get a little quiet after the Summer Classic. And I know we've got Summer League in Vegas. Yeah, but that's when it comes to here and events here. Yeah. I'm glad that people just got to get out there if they wanted to and to celebrate like this.
To put this into perspective, and this is what kills me.
Mm-hmm.
So the California Classic is July 4th, 5th, and 6th. So July 6th will be the last game played in the Golden One Center until October.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa,
and then we have this massive gap of like, now, again, they will go to Vegas for Summer League, and Sactown Sports is going to be going to Vegas. We're going to have some sort of presence there. We're still working out the details. So we'll be covering everything over there in Vegas. But then there's this just massive gap of, now, thankfully, football's going to kick up, and we'll use football to drag us through. But that perspective of like, oh, God, we have to wait until freaking almost Halloween damn near to see Darius Acuff Jr. actually play his first real game. Don't torture me like that.
Yeah, especially when it is such a high pick and people are excited about it, clearly.
But the Golden One Center was awesome last night. The atmosphere there. Doug Christie was there in person and addressed the fans before the draft started. He was all dapper in his suit. Neek Clifford was there.
Yeah.
Neek did an interview with Deuce and Mo and kind of shared some perspective of being drafted last year, which was pretty cool. The dance team was out there. It was good energy.
Nice.
Now, by the time like the Bucks were on the clock at 10, that place almost emptied out because saw our Kings pick. We're going to Doco and celebrating with some drinks or something at the bar or getting some food. But it was fun to be there for the pick, and it was fun to like when they did the introductions of each player or each prospect that was there at in the green room. When they introduced Darius Acuff Jr., like the place popped. It was very obvious. It was not like a split room. It was very obvious that crowd, at least in the Golden One Center yesterday, wanted Darius Acuff Jr., and they got that. And you can see the reactions all over social media. Brendan Nunes posted it. Sactown Sports posted it. The pop when Darius Acuff Jr. was selected. The pop when Michael Brown Jr. was selected at 6 was almost as loud as the Darius Acuff. Yeah, you knew.
You knew. You're like, okay, we're good now. Like I had that nervous kind of pit in my stomach going into those 5 and 6 picks, just because I was like, still anything can happen. We've been predicting that maybe this is the way it's going to go. And so far the draft had gone according to plan, but I'm like, really? I think the reason why I thought a little bit of pit in my stomach, because I was like, this is going too perfectly.
Yeah.
I was like, everything's just perfect to the T. Everything we talked about that morning, was going according to plan. I'm like, surely something's going to mess this up now. Yeah. And so when they said Keaton Wagler, the Clippers, I'm like, okay, that's made more sense to me than anybody with the guards. Mm-hmm. But I was waiting on those Nets. And like Anthony said, when I saw the Nets draft room celebrating, I thought this could be Acuff. This could definitely be Darius Acuff Jr. that they're selling, because they were having themselves a ball.
Why were they celebrating so hard for someone who was projected so much later?
I'm not quite sure.
Because they got their guy. They're happy.
No, good for them. It was crazy.
It was wild. And so that's why I was like, oh no, this is not good. And then they said,
So the Kings, funny enough, like early in the process, like that Brooklyn Nets pick at 6 was the one that we were most afraid of, right? It's like the Nets at 6 we could all easily see them going Acuff at that spot and snatching him one spot away from Sacramento. We could all see it happening, and we talked about that basically for like a month and a half straight.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the Kings, I felt, were very, very confident going into draft night that Darius Acuff Jr. was not going to Brooklyn. I don't know what intel they had, what they had heard, and obviously it started been getting around because we saw a lot of mock drafts.
Obviously, it's because they loved Mikel Brown Jr.
I guess so. I guess Brooklyn was really putting it out there or signaling that, or maybe Mikel Brown Jr.'s camp mentioned that they got like a draft promise. Yeah. I have no idea. But once, at least what I can say is once Wagler was selected at 5, or once we knew Wagler was going to be selected at 5, the Kings were good.
Sure.
They knew. The Kings felt very, very sure. They felt very, very sure for a long time. They knew what the Brooklyn Nets were going to do, which is not why they did not feel the need at all to move up in this draft. Now, I was more than willing, if Scott Perry really loved Darius Acuff as much as he clearly does and felt he had to move up, I was willing to see that through. Me personally, I was like, yeah, go out and do that. I want my GM to go and get the guy he's passionate about. But it's very clear, and it's become more and more clear over the last handful of weeks, while those two teams ahead of the Kings, the Clippers and the Nets might have been trying and were trying to leverage that information and try and get the Kings to move up a spot, Scott Perry wasn't budging because he knew he didn't have to.
Yeah, and that's got to feel good too. That, again, that takes, you've been saying this, like, it takes him working things right on the business side and putting the right things out there, not allowing things to get out there.
Yeah.
That helps you get to that point. Now, when it's all said and done, do I truly feel, and I talked about this with Tyler earlier, do I feel like a lot of this worked out really seamlessly with fits with these guards? I truly do.
Seems like
and
it.
that, heck yeah, like, congrats to everyone then, possibly getting the guard that was their best fit.
Yeah.
I don't think that usually happens like that. I do feel that's kind of what it came down to. Now, again, now we're going to have to see what fit was the best in terms of how they were able to either develop or utilize those guards.
Right.
And that's going to be fascinating to watch.
Right.
But I do feel like everybody kind of got what they wanted when it came to the point guard position.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously fit is important. I think in this case, I can only speak really for what I understand from the Kings' perspective. I'm sure other organizations feel this way too. But the Kings believe they got the best fit for what they needed, but they also got the most talented guard in this draft.
And that's fair. I think that's fair.
That's why I remember debating with Kyle a little bit, going back to a couple months ago. We were talking about, like, if the Kings walk out of this draft with Brandon Ingram, a player that has the career of Brandon Ingram, is that a good thing? Well, Brandon Ingram's been an all-star. He's made the playoffs a couple times. Like, on one hand, it's like, yeah, that would be nice for Sacramento standards. But to me, I'd be a little disappointed with that, because I looked at this draft with how talented this draft is, and I looked at how desperately the Kings need a star because they absolutely botched the De'Aaron Fox trade. And that, to me, for me personally, was the most important thing for the Kings to go out and do. Yes, they need to address the point guard position. Yes, they need to address defense. Yes, they need to address shooting. Hey, newsflash, they have a lot of holes that they need to figure out, and those 2 picks last night certainly didn't plug all of them. But the Kings can't go or really do anything until they have a franchise player.
Yeah.
And outside of those top 4, I think the Kings should feel confident, and I think a lot of people are echoing the belief that the Kings got the guy that has the most clear star potential out of that group. Doesn't mean he's going to realize it, but Acuff's star potential jumps off the page more than Wagler, more than Brown, more than Flemings, more than Burries. And that's why the Kings, I think, would have taken him 5 if they were there.
I think that's where we came into this conversation at some point during this whole process of, like, you know, don't overthink either. In I know that part of that you have to be realistic about the defensive side, but I think it has been known that he is probably the most talented guard, point guard in this class. I know other people can argue other things, but I'm just saying from, like, for the most part, when he really started to erupt on the scene and there was really starting those draft, analysis and the boards and all that.
Right.
Like, he was kind of always there towards the top of that list. Again, you can find other things with other players to make them maybe why you thought they were the most talented. But I think overall the idea from so many people was that he was that guy.
Yeah.
And I think it would almost have been overthinking it if you were Scott Perry and them.
In a weird way, there's still pressure no matter what, because Scott has to get this pick right. He always had to get this pick right. And if Darius Acuff Jr. is going to talk the talk, he's got to walk the walk. However, while Acuff isn't necessarily a super charismatic talker, he definitely has and exudes self-confidence. So there are going to be naturally people over the course of his career, assuming he's polarizing enough for them to care about him, which I believe he will be, he's going to have to back up and translate a lot of what he did at Arkansas to the NBA. It doesn't have to do it right away, but, like, if you say you want to be a star and believe you should be a star in the guy, at some point you got to live up to that, and the Kings certainly believe that he can be that. But not having to move up to get him does, in a way, buy the Kings a little bit more time and a little bit more grace in this situation. Bottom line is they still need Acuff to be at least Robin.
Yeah.
But they feel they might have gotten Batman. And I didn't know if there was a Batman outside of the top 4.
It would be nice if they got their Batman and he can be something similar to what Jalen Brunson has. And look, Jalen Brunson doesn't have that pressure. He was a second-round pick. But I'm just saying in the way that they there's similarities with the size and all that, and the mentality, and I just feel like he could definitely be that guy for this Kings squad.
I know I'm talking about one of the greatest shooters of all time, but it is very realistic to have, if you're the Kings, have Damian Lillard level expectations and hopes for Darius Acuff. That's those are huge shoes to fill. Don't get me wrong. That's a bar you got to reach. Not predicting that today. But if the Kings look at him and go, we think we might have found our Dame Lillard and made up for that mistake of Thomas Robinson so many years ago. I get it. I believe
do too.
That.
And we're talking about Dame Lillard, by the way, who is still one of my favorite players, that played in the FCS. Like he played at Weber State, Big Sky, technically not FCS. I'm just saying football, it's FCS.
Yeah,
but
I got you.
Big Sky, small conference, not a lot of eyes on that conference. Right. And for him to kind of become what he was, and again, he's small. Like, Lillard is not. Yes. Dame is not big, dude. Like, he's not. And even watching him in the Big Sky with not as great big players, like, and then go on to do what he did in the NBA, like, I surely think Acuff Jr. can do that. Like, absolutely. Playing in a conference like the SEC, and that is big time competition every single night.
Darius Acuff Jr. measured at 6'2" barefoot with a 185-pound frame and a 6'7" wingspan at the draft combine.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Lillard measured in barefoot at 6'1" 3/4 with a 6'7" wingspan and also 100. Well, I'm sorry. Dame was 189. Acuff's 185.
Yeah.
We're talking about very similar builds. Acuff even a little bit bigger than Dame. And look, Dame is not a lockdown defensive player, but when's the last time we've talked about Dame Lillard's defense?
I couldn't
even tell you.
Yeah, I don't think that's
probably
a thing.
like early Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And when Damian Lillard plays,
that was a team issue.
Yes. And when Damian Lillard plays, does anybody think Damian Lillard plays small? Anybody?
Nope.
He can shoot the you-know-what out the gym, but he's also not afraid to put the ball on the deck, attack the basket. He's a below-the-rim player, but he's still Damian freaking Lillard. Like, again, I'm not saying Acuff is going to be Damian Lillard, but it's realistic for the Kings to look at that and go, I see our Damian Lillard in Acuff.
I agree, and I think that's okay. You can't ever straight compare players. I hate straight comparing. Yeah. I hate straight comparing more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
Now, can you use things that you see out of certain players?
Yes.
Absolutely. I think that's totally fine to do. The one thing that I don't get, and it's been this from the beginning, is I think when we started talking about Acuff, and then, some people even went the other side and were like, we're Acuffed out, all this stuff. The comparison that was being made was Trae Young. And I don't necessarily, I see in part something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, why, I don't know why that to me is not necessarily what I don't even immediately think that.
I think it's just a high volume, tough shot, 3-point shooter that did not have much of a defensive bag. And unfortunately, Trae Young this season, and even still right now, am I crazy?
By the way,
he
just got a contract.
Yeah, he did. He got paid over $200 million, which is nuts.
Looks a lot like someone we know in Sacramento's contract.
Is it crazy to say the name Trae Young has a negative connotation?
Yeah,
I think it does.
I think to some people, I don't necessarily look at but I think when I was seeing comments like that, it was negative. I understand some stuff with Trae Young but for a long time in Atlanta, he was the dude.
Oh, people loved him in Atlanta.
People loved him,
especially when he was showing off that playmaking ability in addition to the shooting. The defense is a concern, and Atlanta was never able to figure that out. Now, hopefully the Kings are the ones that are able to figure that out. That's a big if and a big hope, and I understand the pessimism of some Kings fans with that. But look, you got to build around everybody. You got to figure out, no matter who you picked, you're going to have to figure out the specific way to build around them. And if you're going for the New York Knicks Jalen Brunson model, which, by the way, Scott Perry is coming from the New York Knicks, you understand, okay, I need wings. Well, I have Keegan under contract. I traded for DeAndre Hunter. We'll see what that looks like. I need probably a defensive guard who can also help rebound. Maybe Nick Clifford can be that. I don't know. I need bigs that can. I need a hyperactive, rebounding, rim protecting big. Maybe you've gotten that now in Dylan Cardwell, a la Mitchell Robinson. And now I need a big to play through. You still have Domantas Sabonis. I don't know, but maybe that's the model they want to follow.
Here's the difference with Trae Young. Trae Young, height-wise, is around the same. Trae Young is, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to say this. He's puny.
Yeah, he's tiny.
He's puny,
He
you
gets
guys.
bullied.
He's 164 pounds listed.
And he does not play physical.
He is puny, you guys. He's not physical.
Yeah, he doesn't
That
play
is
physical.
not what Acuff is, and it's not how he plays.
Yeah, Acuff's big.
So I think that's what gets me off that comparison.
Acuff's the same height and it's got 20 freaking pounds on him.
At
19.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's 19 years old.
I think on defense, he absolutely has the potential to be like Brunson if he tries really hard, where he's taking charges, he knows where to be and help, and it works. Like, Brunson is not a gifted defender at all.
Nope.
But Jalen Brunson is still effective on defense, and I think that's just about trying, especially when you are that size. Trae Young is too small to have that.
Yeah, he's small, guys.
Trae Young is small.
I'm hoping when Darius gets here for the Summer Classic, maybe seeing him a little bit more in person. I think it's always hard, even on TV, to see some of these guys and how they're built and and again, they're all so young.
Yeah.
He's 19. There's going to obviously be work that's done in the off season and stuff like that. But I just don't, I think I've never looked at him as tiny in terms of size,
for the
up top.
For the record too, I am very interested and intrigued what Trae Young looks like in Washington with
Same here.
The group that they put together with Sarr, with of course AJ Devonta. If AD sticks around, I think I don't hate the move for Washington. I don't like the $200 million contract, but I guess I get it. We'll see if it works out for them. I love AJ.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he's the first one that reached out to AJ. They just were playing a video of it,
cool.
welcoming him in. I think the biggest thing the AD thing, I never know. That's the thing that was so weird to me. AD, where in the world is AD?
Should we get to the few other Kings draft grades that we didn't get to?
Yeah.
Because some of these are
Let's do it.
pretty interesting. Kevin O'Connor, who's never been one to give the Kings a lot of credit.
Yeah, I saw this one.
His draft grade for the Kings and Darius Acuff Jr.
Yep.
A+. Credit to the Kings front office for correctly calling the bluff by the Clippers and Nets, both of whom were rumored to threaten taking Acuff to force the Kings to move up in the draft, but Sacramento stuck with this spot and was rewarded with the guard the front office wanted all along in Acuff, a wiry scorer who can get a bucket from anywhere on the floor with a quick trigger, slippery handle, and a feel for manipulating defenses. After entering college with a reputation of a ball hog, he changed that and emerged as a skilled low turnover playmaker who sprayed the ball around the floor and put in significant effort moving off of the ball. So while he is not the biggest guard or the most explosive athlete, he reads defenses like someone who's been in the league for a decade. He still needs to make dramatic improvements on defense, though, as he was one of the worst defenders in college basketball. Kings general manager Scott Perry and assistant general manager B.J. Armstrong were both born and raised in Detroit. So is Acuff. Perry coached Acuff's father, blah, 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 blah. Isn't this interesting? Isn't that a different, kind of a bit of a 180 flip from Kevin O'Connor, who not long ago in his podcast was talking about if there's a team that players are saying we refuse to go there, if AJ Devonta were to say I refuse to go there, it would be the Sacramento Kings. Because it sure sounds like Darius Acuff Jr. has wanted to be in Sacramento and be with the Kings for months. So bit of a 180 there, Kevin.
I thought that was funny just for the fact when that report came out, specifically about AJ not wanting to go to Sacramento. And we all kind of rolled our eyes a little bit. You sure as heck can't say that now, because this is a guy that did the opposite, made it kind of known, or at least through his camp, that he wanted to be in Sacramento, and now has doubled down on that in interviews. And it's he's like, oh, A+, A+. I call it the whole time. I knew Acuff wanted to be
point of their offense. They needed someone entertaining for a starved fan base to rally around. That's true. Acuff is that guy. His high-end player comp is Damian Lillard, although he's built a little more like Jalen Brunson. The only knock, and why they get a minus on this grade, is that Acuff is an undersized guard who's a little and has good size.
Yeah.
A minus from NBC
That's a fair
Sports.
review right there.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep what I got.
Have you ever used Nair?
I've never used Nair.
I used Nair one time growing up. I I don't even know if Nair exists because I think it's like probably very bad for you.
Hell no.
So sorry, that was the funniest last. I was like, Nair?
Rainier.
Yeah.
Renault.
Nair.
It's like no hair.
Why would you burn hair off?
That's
it's chemicals.
Yeah, it's what we do as women sometimes.
Sounds horrible.
I know. Just shave your legs, ladies.
It makes you go away for longer, right? That was the point of it.
But it's like there ain't no way that's good for you, you know?
Chemically altering your hair follicles
Yeah, the hair won't
for the sake
grow.
of not shaving.
The hair won't grow
often.
back because I gave myself third-degree burns on my legs. That sounds like a good plan. The Ringer gave the Darius Acuff Jr. pick a B+, or gave the Kings a B+ for that pick. The Scott Perry prophecy is fulfilled. Acuff has been linked to the Kings here for months because of his family ties, but even if he was a total stranger, his mentality and presence on the court would bring a combination of stability and talent that the Kings haven't had since trading De'Aaron Fox last year. Acuff's critics will point to the fact that he was hunted nonstop on defense in every important game that Arkansas played, and that he will always played with the ball in his hands. Time will certainly tell how much he works to improve the former and how flexible he is about scaling down to a lower usage role, but Acuff's talent is undeniable. He could become one of the mastermind game managers in this league.
Good stuff overall. I mean, even if there's some B+s in there.
Lowest grade was a B.
Yeah.
The Warriors got an A for Yaxel Lindeborg.
Okay, yeah. Don't get me started on that one. By the way, you don't do an interview and you're first asked, like, what do you feel about being drafted? Well, I don't deserve it. What?
Philly got an
Who says that?
Philly got an A- for the LeBaron
Well,
final.
they should, because he dropped all the way to him.
Yeah, I understand.
Young man, young man.
I understand being humble with Yaxel Lindeborg, but
yo, dude, that ain't the answer. And Lisa was like, "No, you deserve it." Jeez Louise.
Oh, Bringer gave the Kings an A for the Alex Caravan move.
Well, there you go.
In a rare moment of clear-headed culture building, the Kings traded back into unnecessary shot.
I kind of like that one. That was funny.
The Kings traded back into the first round in order to land one of the biggest winners in college basketball history.
Right.
Caravan has good size and should become a dependable floor spacer, but his real gift is what he does with his mind. He has a great feel, which he uses to open up all sorts of shot opportunities with his screening and keeps the mistakes to a minimum. Sacramento needs stabilizers, and pairing Caravan with Darius Acuff Jr. should go a long way towards establishing a baseline for success. Well, thank you, Ringer. We appreciate that part. We'll take the break. When we come back, it's time for our MLB mini seasons. How do we do in baseball yesterday? Plus, we got the Bay Bridge, kind of not really anymore series going on between the Giants and the A's. We'll talk about that. And the Drive Guys, Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, join us in studio. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Darius Acuff Jr. is a Sacramento King.
The Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr. from the University of Arkansas.
After a private workout and an entire offseason of speculation, the 6'2" point guard fell to the Kings at number 7 and will be the latest young star to take the floor in Sacramento. Will the SEC's leading scorer continue the small guard resurgence in the NBA?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Wednesday, bright sunshine expected, and temperatures will be seasonable. What does that mean? Well, the average high this time of year is 90. We'll get there this afternoon, and then the cooling Delta breeze will drop us back to the 50s overnight tonight into your Thursday. You can always get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
This Green and Gold Injury Report is brought to you by the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. If you've got an injury, just call Gingery. This past week, Luis Severino has been transferred from the 15-day DL to the 60-day injured list. Mark Leiter went on the 15-day IL due to a right hip impingement, and Brett Rooker was sent to the 10-day IL with a bone bruise in his left knee. Gunnar Hoagland will now officially miss the 2026 season after undergoing surgery on his left hip last Monday.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms?
At Gingery, Hammer, and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end.
Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Remember the days of real country music? Now you can get your favorite classic country every day on 105.1 HD3 The Ranch. Listen to The Ranch on the free KNCI app or anytime at 105.1 HD3.
Feel the force at Star Wars Night with the Sacramento River Cats. Join us at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, July 11th for themed fun, costumes, and summertime baseball under the lights. It's one of the most popular nights of the season. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We've seen every kind of golf swing. Some smooth, some, let's just say, innovative. And that's why Hagen Oaks offers Total Game Fitting. The TrackMan-powered player performance studio shows what your swing is really doing. Ping's Ball-Nemic Ball Fitter finds a ball that behaves. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps turn almost into yes. And FootJoy's 3D foot scanner builds stability from the ground up. At Hagen Oaks, we don't judge your game, we fix it. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Better fit, more fun. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
On the 4th of July, we get Sacramento Kings basketball, at least a version of it, back here in Sacramento, the California Classic, where we believe we will see Darius Acuff Jr. play for the Kings for the first time. But on July 5th, you can watch Formula One racing and the British Grand Prix live at the Esquire IMAX Theater, and we are giving you a chance right now. 2 of you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Formula One again. It's the British Grand Prix live at the Esquire IMAX Theater on Sunday, July 5th. Caller number 1 and number 2. It's a race after all. Right now, 916-339-1140. You get your chance to win those pair of tickets to see Formula One racing. I imagine it'd be pretty rad to watch a British Grand Prix on that big of a screen.
I'd love to go in person one day, but yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to see it on an IMAX.
Can we win tickets? I don't think we can. I think we just have to go.
Yeah, we got to pay our own.
We get nothing
pay
around
our
here.
own way.
We don't get to win. We just get to give.
Just givers here on
I'm
the
a
show.
receiver. I'm not a giver. I'm a receiver. Give me all the stuff. I'm an only child after all. Give me this stuff, you know? World revolves around
I know, I
me.
always forget that.
Well, at least I get this. My broken, pathetic MLB mini seasons trophy.
Put it together like
it's
every day.
I know,
Oh,
it's
by
like
the way, I am going
Lego
to
thing.
need your teams for tomorrow.
Oh,
Thursday,
yes. I'm going to have to lock that in.
And then I'm going to need your one for Friday.
I will happily do that because I am off to a wedding in Seattle after today's show.
My neck of the woods.
Following the second round of the draft remotely, Kayla Anderson and Brendan Nunes will have you covered here from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. the rest of this week. I'll be back Monday. I'll be back to normal. But looking forward to hearing you guys break down the second round of the draft and hopefully a Kings introductory press conference for these draft picks this week. We'll
That'd
see
be nice.
how that plays
Maybe
out.
Friday?
But right now, it is time for our MLB mini series or mini seasons update. And all three of us were tied not just with wins, but with the run differential after a historic Monday.
That's so weird.
Oh, we're not anymore. We were guaranteed to have somebody pick up an L because Kayla, you and Anthony went head to head. Mano y mano.
Yeah.
Kayla took the Rays. Anthony took the Royals. The Royals won 12-5. That was a beatdown. It wasn't close.
Underdogs.
Seriously, he's taking all underdogs
And
this
he's-
week,
and
and
he's 2-0.
he's going to win.
It's stupid.
This is what happens when he takes over for Kyle.
So Kyle is 31 and
Freaking
31
A, man.
overall, and I'm pretty sure 32 of his 31 wins are because of Anthony and who else was with us? It was Anthony and who else filled in?
Ramsey.
Ramsey did it too.
Yeah.
Like someone else did it.
That's crazy, by the way.
I took the Cubs over the Mets, got the 9-6 victory. So
Good for
I'm
you
2-0. Anthony's 2-0, but Anthony by far is winning in terms of run differential.
Right.
As of right now with his all underdog team. So, Anthony, you have the Angels, Mets, and Rockies to choose from. Kayla, you have the Brewers, A's, and White Sox to choose from. I have the Cardinals, Mariners, and Reds to choose from today. What we doing?
Brews.
Brew Crew. Brewers against who?
Brewers tonight.
The Mets have a doubleheader, so they already played and they lost. I'm going to take the next game. I'm going to take the
game
Mets
2.
for game 2.
Brewers playing both.
Just a second, because I want to make sure if there's an early game tomorrow, too. If there's an early game tomorrow, Anthony, we got to pick them.
Okay.
So, okay, sorry. The Brewers, you said, is
Yep.
who I'm taking?
Yep.
They're taking on the Reds. So, Brewers and Reds.
The team tomorrow is playing later, so
Oh, okay.
I'll do it
You're
tomorrow.
fine then. Perfect.
Yeah, the Cubs and Mets. I'm taking the Mets.
Oh.
Doing Mets versus Cubs. So you're going the alternate of what I did today.
And I'm taking the A's tomorrow because they go early against the Giants.
Sounds good. Make a note of that. As for today, because I have to take the Mariners versus the Pirates tomorrow, which is fine. I'll take Kayla's M's.
Okay.
They won't let me down, right?
Mariners today?
No, that was Mariners Pirates tomorrow. Today, I either have to take the Cardinals or the Reds. Well, we could go head to head today if you want. Why not? Let's do it. I'll do the Reds versus the Brewers today.
So you're taking the Mariners
I'll take the
Thursday.
The Mariners Thursday, and then that means on Friday I will take the Cardinals.
Okay.
I'll double check to make sure that works.
All right.
Pretty sure it works.
Cool.
So there you go. See how this continues to play out. Yeah. Friday.
I think Anthony's gonna take it.
Cardinals play the Marlins on Friday, so I'll be good.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go. That's our MLB mini seasons update. By the way, we do have the, what do we call it now? The I-80 series. Like it's not the Bay Bridge series anymore.
It's back in San Francisco.
But
this
the
week.
Giants got the better of the A's.
Yep.
Their first game back after their debacle
Did
in
you see
Miami.
Devers?
Did he apologize?
Yeah, I think he apologized.
Oh, did he? No, I missed
think
that.
I saw that, and I meant to bring it up, but it's just been draft crazy, so I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
I thought maybe I had seen something along the lines of
Oh,
that.
geez. No, he said... No, wow. He said...
The opposite?
You guys just blow everything out of proportion, and I think that's a
Oh.
reflection of why I don't really talk to you guys.
He's talking about media?
That's what Rafael Devers
Yeah.
said to the media.
I knew it was like something along the lines of he was like
He,
saying like it wasn't a big deal.
he also said It was a misunderstanding. 2 days prior to that, I had told the manager that I had a problem with my hamstring, and I thought that was the reason he was taking me out of the game. It just got a little bit blown out of proportion. Well, if that's the case, then I do feel bad to him. Oh, sorry. He said he went on to say he apologized to Tony Vitello after the game, which was the right thing to do. If this is true, then I'm actually kind of Team Devers on this, although him going at the media. There's a little bit of animosity.
I don't know. It's a little crazy right now.
There's a little bit of animosity right now happening between the Bay Area media and the San Francisco Giants, especially Buster Posey right now. So if you're not familiar with that, go and check that out. It was pretty awkward and uncomfortable interaction. But on the field, it was a good day for the Giants yesterday against their former neighbors in the A's. They got a 3-1 victory. Jung-Hoo Lee had a home run in that game. A's, wake up, please. Wake up. Don't do this.
Come on.
You're 3 games.
I was going to say, how
3
far
games
back?
under 500.
How far back are they from the Mariners?
Let's take a look-ski. I would imagine it's getting, I'm going to guess 2.5. Let's see. Yep, 2.5 back.
All right.
Yeah, the Mariners are 41-39. The A's are 38-41. Not good. Damn it. Had an opportunity early. They let it slip
They got plenty of time, man.
They let it slip away. We appreciate all of your support throughout the course of today, all the support that you've shown Sactown Sports throughout the first round of the draft, and that continues in the second round. And a huge shout out to the marathon men known as the Drive Guys. Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles went long yesterday. Are they going to do it again today? I don't know.
Can they top it?
We'll find out when we talk to them next. It's Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, the Drive Guys. Join us to wrap up the show. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Darius Acuff Jr. is a Sacramento King.
The Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr. from the University of Arkansas.
After a private workout and an entire offseason of speculation, the 6'2" point guard fell to the Kings at number 7 and will be the latest young star to take the floor in Sacramento. Will the SEC's leading scorer continue the small guard resurgence in the NBA?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-360-0681 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-360-0681. That's 800-360-0681. What do you have to lose? Call 800-360-0681. Again, 800-360-0681.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
NASCAR legend Michael Waltrip is coming to Echo Park Automotive Sacramento this Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Get there early to meet Michael and celebrate Echo Park's sponsorship of A.J. Allmendinger's number 16 Chevrolet at Sunday's Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway. 10 pairs of race tickets are up for grabs in a live drawing, plus score an autographed A.J. Allmendinger hero card. And while you're there, browse Echo Park's huge inventory. Get the new car feel without the new car price. This Thursday, 2 to 4.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Babbel proudly presents The Poison Gift.
Derek, hi.
Hi, I got you something. Ein bisschen Gift.
Gift? Ist das Gift?
Ja, ist das Gift. Für dich.
If you buy her a gift, don't tell her it's poison. Use Babbel. Practice with Babbel's guided conversations based on real situations. Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson. Plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older? And you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026 is taking on Cal Expo this summer. Catch live music performances and more than 100 top skate, BMX, and Moto X athletes compete. June 26th through June 28th. Get your tickets now at xgames.com.
It's NBA Draft Day Part 2, reacting to yesterday's action and getting you set for tonight's second round. Here's Matt George and Kayla Anderson.
Joined by the marathon men themselves. I mean this with all sincerity. First, did you guys go home or did you just sleep under the table?
Yeah, I just woke up. I mean, I've been,
You slept on those chairs back there?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm surprised you didn't see us back there.
I know.
Yeah.
I said it earlier. I was hyping up how proud I was of just Sactown sports in general. I thought we've been all over the draft for months, of course, but last night from you guys doing 5 hours of live radio and reacting to everything in real time, getting guests on, things of that nature, to our digital guys out there at the Golden One Center, putting everything out. I felt we did a phenomenal job, but shout out to the two of you for an extra hour of radio, unpaid.
I don't know if you heard, Jason Anderson came on, we had him on 4:30 or something, and he heard us talking about how we were going to be on for an extra hour, and he was kind of laughing at us like, oh, are you guys going to be okay?
Yeah.
You know how newspaper guys are, and I know you were up all night. He's like, oh, an extra hour, you guys better rest up. I hope you're going to make it.
So. Yeah, I needed an extra hour of sleep,
Kind of put it in perspective a little bit.
Well, so you got to react to it in real time. Was the reaction any better, different, worse, excited when you woke up this morning and it settled in, everything that happened yesterday?
Yeah, like I said on social media, I think the Kings did a great job of convincing everyone this was the best case scenario, specifically with the 7th overall pick, and it kind of felt like it was the only option, right? I think it would have been really tough for them if for some odd reason the Nets decided to take Acuff, but since they didn't, I think the Kings convinced a lot of people that this was always the plan. And I said this too. They convinced me so much. I've been going back and forth with some Kings fans. If they won that coin flip and they got the second pick, there's a piece of me that thinks they would have taken Acuff. I don't know if they probably wouldn't have. But the fact that I'm even thinking that means that they did a good job.
Now, for clarification, are you saying as in they're like selling you a used car, or you feel they genuinely believe what they say, like they believe Acuff Jr. is, Perry said, the best guard in this draft?
I think they believe it. I don't know if it's going to be correct, but I believe that they believe it, which is all that matters. And we said this yesterday. We don't know if the plan is going to work, but at least it seems like they have had a plan this whole time. There have been some, bumps in the road with the Schroeders and everything like that, but they have had a plan. They have had, you go on Waze and you're on 80. Is there an alternate route? They've had alternate routes. See you, Dennis Schroeder. We're going to drop you off in Cleveland. They've had some bumps along the way, but they have had a plan where it seems like in the past the Kings haven't always had a plan.
Borrowing your car analogy, I've felt for years like the Kings are on 80 going like through Vallejo and Fairfield coming up here. And you know how fast people drive there.
Yeah.
And everyone else in the West has been like, the Kings are they're in the fast lane. They're doing like 75. And then, who's that? Memphis. Who was that? San Antonio. But now I feel like they've kicked it into gear a little bit.
Starting to accelerate.
Yeah. And they got some real momentum, and they got presumably a face of the franchise. And I think that's why fans are so excited. It's not even right now. It doesn't matter if he makes it. He probably will. But right now it's just, okay, they're doing something. They have a plan, and they have a guy who's the face of the plan. Yay.
Yeah. And essentially, I was joking about the Miles Turner meme when he did the corny open, close book thing. And it feels like with everything, with De'Aaron Fox getting to the finals, and since that all went down, right? 2 seasons ago now, since that all went down, Kings fans never got that opportunity. And I think what happened was when they traded their star, they thought they would be in the conversation. I know they didn't have, that was a year they didn't have the first round pick or whatever it was, but they thought they would be in the conversation of, okay, now we're going to go get Dylan Harper, now we're going to go get a young player, and they were robbed of that. So it's been over a year of Kings fans waiting for this moment to say, all right, what are we doing next? It's not Zach LaVine.
Right.
It's not whatever Frankenstein Kings team this is.
Right.
What are we doing next? And whether it works or not, last night they got to feel something that they hadn't felt in 2 years.
Yeah.
So given your information that they were looking at CNAC, does that mean that they're thinking about Allen's plan?
I don't know that.
CNAC's 6'10". He's a 4'5".
Yeah.
You know, funny enough, all my source told me was Allen's plan is a go.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
I'm glad to hear that.
Operation Styles.
Technically, we're 2 for 2 right now. Now, I didn't think they were going to get Caravan in the first, but we had Caravan mocked. We had Acuff mocked.
So
we go Trayvon Brazil. That's
45?
that would be 3 for 3 if we get it. A lot of people think he won't be there. I know Tankathon had him right there between 42 and about 46.
But remember, the second round might as well be free agency. So where he wants to go and where his camp wants to go matters a lot too in the second round. So
he's already got a buddy here.
It's true.
Already got a buddy.
Maybe Brazil wants to come here.
It's familiar.
It's a done deal.
It's familiar. We're going 3 for 3, baby. Now, I know a lot of people were saying they need defense. Baba Miller, I don't think he's going to be there, but I know people were really excited about him. But from what I've seen, he will probably be gone.
Yeah. That whole, for last week, you got to take a defender.
What's the problem? I text you that. What? I text you that. You're like, no, I don't agree with that.
It's not like it's gonna really matter. Like,
Whitey,
pick 45 is a good defender. Okay,
no,
we're
but
good
don't
then
start.
Defensively.
45 in this draft is really about 35 in a normal draft. So it's a big deal. Right. It's a big deal, baby. Yeah. Had the Selly on ice yesterday.
There he goes again.
Come on, baby.
There he goes again. Let me ask you, all three of you, this question. If Scott Perry were sitting here in that chair and he's either hooked up to a lie detector or he can't tell a lie, and he told you the reason why we didn't care about draft lottery odds and we prioritized winning is because we felt that Darius Acuff Jr. was always going to be there or be available for us, or we'd win the draft outright and then have our pick. Would that make you feel any better whatsoever now that they've presumably gotten their guy, regardless of, because Scott said publicly, whatever spot we end up in is going to be the best spot or the right spot. Well, they got their guy in Acuff, so does that make us feel any better? Should it?
Go ahead.
No.
I feel how
because I've been on Acuff since day one.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm not going to change my mind.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I can't go that far. Just
Yeah,
because we're
I don't
talking.
care what he would say.
Yeah, just because of Debanza and.
Yeah.
But does it make it easier, like, because I wanted the Kings to have AJ Debanza, of course.
Right.
But does it make it easier for all of us, like, we've argued and we're frustrated so much about wins and losses and stuff like that towards the end of the season forever. It seems like a guy that has been on the Kings' radar for long before even this season. Scott Perry has familiarities with Acuff's family, of course. They ended up getting him. So I'm not saying it is an ultimate excuse, but for me, it allows at least a little bit of closure to that frustration over the not tanking thing.
Whatever
at least
makes
for
you
me.
feel better.
Yeah.
Is it copium?
Maybe you can feel that.
Okay,
I'll
all right.
never let it go.
I was trying.
I'll never let it go.
I was trying for a little positivity.
I mean, we might have this conversation 3 years down the road if they're in the playoffs and they're balling, and that's just begons.
In the finals when Acuff cooks AJ at Kings Wizards finals.
I love it.
2032.
I love it. They got a lot of work to do because they are getting number one in the 2027 draft.
Today they're taking care of the defense, and defense
Oh,
after
here we
today
go.
will be
Don't start.
flawless.
Okay.
Locked down.
Don't start.
So what do we get in the next 4 hours on the drive, guys?
We'll tell you. We'll get started here in just a minute. We gotta go. We gotta get
we got
started.
Fine. I'm sorry. I just want to talk to you guys some more.
I guess I care about defense more than Whitey now.
Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, the next 4 hours. Kayla Anderson and Brendan Nunez will be here tomorrow. I'm heading to a wedding in Seattle, but we'll be following the second round closely. Matt and Kayla back at 10 a.m. tomorrow